Chapter 589. Junior apprentice Sister Yan's complexion changed. She was going to represent her master in the competition. She could not even refine a low-grade Dao tool. What did that mean? Seeing junior apprentice Sister Yan's face change slightly, the petite female cultivator sneered disdainfully, "This duel will be witnessed by the powerhouses of the various grand starry skies. We came here to deliver the letter of challenge. If you don't dare to participate in the match, just say so." After the female cultivator finished, she then turned to her companion and said, "Senior apprentice Brother Bing, go outside and put up a sign saying that Zhongli Baiqi does not dare to accept our challenge. The famous Baiqi artifact crafting store will cease to exist from now on and will never set foot in the eternal heaven Starry Sky City." Hearing these words, the professional smile on junior apprentice Sister Yan's face disappeared without a trace, before she spoke up in a similarly cold voice, "Although your master does not have the qualifications to challenge my master, but challenging me is barely enough. As you wish, I, Xin Yan, will accept this match." The petite-looking female cultivator on hearing junior apprentice Sister Yan's words did not refute it. Instead, she smiled and left behind a jade card before speaking, "The venue of the competition is the Eternal Heaven Artifact Crafting Pool in 10 days. Don't forget about it. Come, Senior Brother Bing." Junior apprentice Sister Yan grabbed the jade card with trembling hands. She knew that if she didn't go, Zhongli Baiqi's name would stink. Just like Jinming Qianhua, who had been kicked out of the Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City by his master in the past, he had plummeted and left the Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City with his tail between his legs. It was even worse than Jinming Qianhua back then. But if she went, she would still lose. However, it was better to go and lose than not go at all. The lock on the door shook, and a young man with a beard on his face rushed in. "What weapon do you want to refine, please?" Junior apprentice Sister Yan immediately put away the jade card, and a smile appeared on her face. The young man waved his hand and spoke, "Junior apprentice Sister Yan, I am your senior apprentice Brother Ning. I offended someone, so I can only use a mask to disguise myself." Saying that, Ning Cheng took off his mask and showed it to junior apprentice Sister Yan before putting it back on. Seeing Ning Cheng's pale face, junior apprentice Sister Yan immediately understood that Ning Cheng had indeed suffered some injuries. However, for her, Ning Cheng's return was a pleasant surprise. "Senior apprentice Brother Ning, I was in a hurry to find you. You came back at just the right time, I have something urgent." Junior apprentice Sister Yan was truly pleasantly surprised at this moment. She was worried about not being able to participate in the tournament, when senior apprentice Brother Ning suddenly came back. In any case, it would be much better than her senior apprentice Brother Ning than Jinming Qianhua disciple. But apprentice Brother Ning could not refine a middle-grade Dao artifact. With apprentice Brother Ning, she would not be able to beat Jinming Brother sect. Ning Cheng did not even ask about the matter with junior apprentice Sister Yan and directly refused, "I'm injured, so I'm going to heal myself. Don't disturb me." "Wait." Junior apprentice Sister Yan anxiously reached out and grabbed Ning Cheng. Without waiting for Ning Cheng to speak, she told him everything that had happened before, including the enmity between Zhongli Baiqi and Jinming Qianhua. He apprentice Chen master, I Don, I not need you, I sect Ning, I master Brother Ning, I Cheng, Jin, I said, he. Even if you don't say it, I can guess that Jinming Qianhua is very strong, he is not weaker than master. His disciple has been learning from him for such a long time. At the very least, he should be able to refine top-notch high-grade Dao tools. You want me, a person who has only been learning from my master for a few days, to compete with a master who has been learning for countless years?" Saying that, Ning Cheng quickened his pace, and in a few steps arrived at the second floor. After reaching the second floor, he casually set up a bunch of restrictions. Not to mention that he knew he would definitely lose, even if he had the chance to win, he didn't want to compete. He knew that Zhongli Baiqi wanted to accept him as a disciple because he wanted a favor from him. Even if there was no such thing, Ning Qing did not want to joke around with his life. If he wanted to participate in this kind of competition, then there would definitely be powerhouses more powerful than Zhongli Baiqi present on the scene. What would he do if they found out about his mysterious yellow bead? Didn't Sun Wei discover his mysterious yellow bead? Who could be sure that there wasn't a powerhouse more powerful than Sun Wei here? This was culmination grand starry sky. Besides, if that Taoist priestess from the everlasting sacred shrine went there and came to know that he was Ning Qing, what would happen then? Taking 10,000 steps back, even if no one found his mysterious yellow bead, no one would recognize him as Ning Qing. However, his celestial river flame was a treasure. If someone coveted it, could he keep it? Zhongli Baiqi had a much better flame than him. Even if he did not covet it, how could he guarantee that others would not covet it? 3 days passed by quickly, and Ning Qing thoroughly checked his body to make sure that all the injuries from the fight with Fu Wumei had disappeared completely. Only then did he feel relieved. He then stood up and prepared to find Zish Jun. As long as he could obtain the Jade card to enter the Immortal Jade Star, he could go into seclusion until the Immortal Jade Star opened. Senior Apprentice Brother Ning. Seeing Ning Qing come out, Junior Apprentice Sister Yan once again greeted him. Ning Qing spoke up with sincerity, Junior Apprentice Sister Yan, I really can't help you. I don't have a high-grade flame, and my attainments in crafting artifacts are just average. Besides, even if Jin Ming Qin was Disciple 1, it doesn't mean that he won against Master. Junior Apprentice Sister Yan's tone was even more sincere than Ning Cheng's. Senior Apprentice Brother Ning, as long as you help me participate in the competition, I can give you 500 million purple coins. That's all my savings. Ning Qing initially did not intend to talk about this matter, but now that Junior Apprentice Sister Yan mentioned the purple coins, he immediately sneered, Junior Apprentice Sister Yan, is all your savings 500 million purple coins? Wouldn't those hundreds of middle-grade Dao artifacts be worth far more than 500 million purple coins? Did you know about this? Did you follow me? Junior Apprentice Sister Yan's expression immediately changed. If Ning Qing had not followed her, how could he know that she had taken out Dao artifacts to sell? Ning Qing spoke up in a calm voice, you don't have to worry about it. I just happened to see you going to the Transcending Dao Artifacts merchant house and saw you selling Dao artifacts. In any case, it was refined from your materials, so I have no opinion on it. Junior Apprentice Sister Yan's complexion recovered a bit, Senior Apprentice Brother Ning, although I did not do it properly, you did not suffer a loss, did you? The materials I gave you are enough to craft thousands of Dao artifacts. Even if you wasted some of the materials, I don't believe that you did not make a profit. Ning Qing showed a smile, that's right, everyone made a profit, so I didn't say anything. But don't tell me that 500 million purple coins is your entire net worth, it makes me feel a little uncomfortable. My entire net worth is indeed only 500 million purple coins, but those hundreds of Dao artifacts were sold for billions of purple coins. I need a lot of resources for my cultivation, so I had to buy them with my own money. Junior Apprentice Sister Yan spoke with even more sincerity. Ning Qing frowned, that's impossible, right? A few hundred Dao artifacts sold for billions of purple coins. If I remember correctly, middle-grade Dao artifacts are worth tens of billions of green coins. That's more than 100 million purple coins. You should be talking about a small place, right? In the Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City, the most valuable things are Starry Sky battleships, high-grade Dao artifacts, and top-grade Dao artifacts. A real low-grade Dao artifact is not worth much at all. What I took out to sell was a middle-grade Dao artifact. People only gave me this price because I came from the Baiqi artifact crafting store. Even a middle-grade Dao artifact in a small place is not worth 100 million purple coins. You must have been cheated. Junior Apprentice Sister Yan retorted without any trace of politeness. Ning Qing did not say anything. He had never bought any artifact from this place, so naturally, he did not know the specific price. He guessed that when he bought the middle-grade Mask Dao artifact, he had most likely been cheated. Seeing Ning Qing remain silent, junior apprentice sister Yan hesitated for a moment before speaking. Senior apprentice brother Ning, you asked me about nirvana in flames last time. Presumably, you have a flame that is about to undergo nirvana, right? Otherwise, you would not be able to refine middle-grade Dao artifacts. What about it? Ning Qing spoke with a casual tone. I have a way to let your flame undergo nirvana. Junior apprentice sister Yan stared at Ning Qing and spoke. Ning Qing's eyes flashed with a hint of heat. His flame could not evolve, which was a big weakness for him. Now that junior apprentice sister Yan said that she had a way, his heart suddenly turned feverish. Junior apprentice sister Yan, speak. If you really have a way, I will thank you very much. Seeing that Ning Qing still did not say anything about participating in the competition, junior apprentice sister Yan's eyes flashed with disappointment, but she still spoke up, I don't need your thanks, as long as you participate in the competition. In tomorrow's auction, there will be an item for sale. This item can be said to be the best choice for Nirvana flames. If you participate in the competition, I have a way to help you buy it. What is it? Ning Qing asked eagerly. Fire Origin Crystal. Junior apprentice sister Yan stared at Ning Qing. I can't afford this thing with my net worth, but master left something for me. If I take it out, I should be able to buy a Fire Origin Crystal. Ning Qing froze. Fire Origin Crystals could evolve into celestial river flames, why didn't he think of it? He already had a pile of Fire Origin Crystals on him. If he had known about it, he would have already evolved his flame. You said that Fire Origin Crystals can let flames undergo nirvana? Ning Qing asked again in disbelief. That's right. Junior apprentice sister Yan spoke with certainty. Ning Qing asked again, is Fire Origin Crystal the best material for nirvana? Junior apprentice sister Yan remained silent for a moment before speaking. In theory, Fire Origin Crystals are the best material for nirvana, but you would need at least 10 fist-sized ones. If there is only one Fire Origin Crystal, it can only be regarded as a top-grade nirvana material, which is definitely better than other things. More than 10 Fire Origin Crystals can only grow next to the Fire Origin bead. One can say that even eternal-level powerhouses cannot obtain such a treasure. Is the Fire Origin bead very precious? Ning Qing asked casually, but in his heart, he was already thinking about finding a place to let his flame undergo nirvana. Junior apprentice sister Yan snorted and spoke, I heard that there is only one Fire Origin bead in the vast planar boundary. Do you think it is precious or not? You should have heard that the immortal Jade Star has an origin, right? I have indeed heard about it. I was wondering if I could get a place to go inside. Ning Qing replied honestly. You should just give up on that idea. Junior apprentice sister Yan shook her head, whether that origin bead is real or fake, no matter who obtains it, they will eventually take it out. Do you know why those powerhouses don't try to snatch it? Because the immortal Jade Star is very fragile. Once the powerhouses of the 4 grand starry skies try to snatch it, the immortal Jade Star would most likely collapse. Once the star collapses, the things inside would completely disappear into the void. Because of this, those powerhouses joined forces to seal off the immortal Jade Star and discussed letting celestial scryer cultivators in to help them snatch it. Chapter 590. Is there a material better than the Fire Origin Crystal for flame nirvana? Ning Qing already planned to use the Fire Origin Crystals to help his celestial river flame undergo nirvana. Initially, his celestial river flame had evolved to a purple color because of the Fire Origin Crystals. Now that he thought about it, the reason why he did not undergo nirvana at that time should be because before the Fire Origin Crystal underwent nirvana, he had thought that the celestial river flame had already reached its peak and put it away ahead of time. Perhaps if he waited a little longer, his flame would be able to undergo nirvana. Fortunately, he had also collected a lot of fire origin crystals, so there was still time for him to undergo nirvana. Actually, you just need to finish reading the book that Master gave you last time, and you'll know everything. However, you'll need at least 10 years to finish reading that book. I've used many years to barely finish more than half of it. I heard that there is a kind of essence flame in the starry sky that is extremely good for the nirvana of flames. It should be the second nirvana material, junior apprentice Sister Yen replied. Is the fire origin crystal the first? Ning Qing subconsciously asked. Xin Yen shook her head. First place isn't the best, but the fire origin bead. There shouldn't be anyone stupid enough to use the fire origin bead for nirvana. Furthermore, he did not have the means to use the fire origin bead to undergo nirvana. Therefore, the best nirvana material is the essence flame found in the starry skies. I have asked Master about it, but even Master has never seen it before. He has only heard of it. Ning Qing immediately thought of that deceptive book, which he had read for a few months, and had originally thought that he had finished reading it, but he did not expect that when he looked at it again, the content would once again be different. According to Master Bai Qi, he would need at least 2 to 3 years to finish reading that book. Junior apprentice Sister Yen, although I really want to experience flame nirvana, I really can't participate in the competition. Ning Qing spoke with some helplessness. He also felt somewhat embarrassed. Now that it was related to his own safety, he had no choice but to be careful. Junior apprentice Sister Yen took in a deep breath before she looked at Ning Qing and spoke, Senior apprentice Brother Ning, it doesn't matter if you lose in the competition. After all, your level of crafting artifacts is much higher than mine. I am indebted to Master. Now that Master is not here, I cannot let Master lose face. I, Xin Yen, beg you, Senior apprentice Brother Ning. This was the first time that Ning Qing knew that junior apprentice Sister Yen was called Xin Yen. He hesitated for a moment, and simply spoke up, Junior apprentice Sister Yen, I have offended a few very powerful experts. Even if I wore a mask, I might still be recognized. Moreover, I can't take out my flame. Although my flame's level isn't high, it has some background. If it's discovered by someone, I'm dead for sure. It's not that I don't want to help you, but there's really nothing I can do. Xin Yen spoke with even more sincerity, Senior apprentice Brother Ning, your magic weapon mask should have been given to you by Master, right? This was a top-notch concealment artifact. Even a great Emperor realm expert wouldn't be able to see through it as long as they didn't use their divine senses. Moreover, how could a top-level powerhouse use their spiritual consciousness to deliberately infiltrate a celestial scryer cultivator like you? As for the flame, you don't have to worry about it. I have a water cloud flower. If you're willing to compete, I'm willing to lend it to you. Is the water cloud flower a type of flame? Ning Qing asked in surprise. Xin Yen raised her hand and brought out a flame. When Ning Qing saw this flame, his first impression was that it was beautiful, just like a flower. The second feeling he got was that it had a water-attributed aura to it. When Ning Qing's spiritual consciousness penetrated into the flame, he immediately felt a terrifying heat, which unexpectedly exceeded his celestial river flame by a notch. This flower-like flame also had a pale golden line beside it, which made the flower look even more beautiful. Because my flame is water-attributed, plus I don't have a water-attributed spiritual root, my artifact crafting skills have always been average. This flame of mine has long since undergone nirvana. Although it is an ordinary flame, it can still be used to refine high-grade Dao artifacts. If Senior Apprentice Brother Ning is willing to help, I can lend this flame to Senior Apprentice Brother Ning. Xin Yen, on seeing Ning Qing staring at her flame, explained without any concealment. Ning Qing had to speak up, I'll go out first. When I come back, I'll give you a reply. Okay, I'll wait for Senior Apprentice Brother. Although Xin Yen knew that Ning Qing might not agree to her request, she still spoke with an enthusiastic tone. Half a day later, Ning Qing dug out a cave in a mountain range far from the eternal heaven starry sky city. His only purpose for coming here was to evolve his celestial river flame. Bringing out the celestial river flame, Ning Cheng threw 10 fire origin crystals into the flame one after another. The purple flame of the celestial river flame grew hotter and hotter, and the 10 fire origin crystals quickly disappeared after being swept away by the purple flame. Ning Cheng felt that his flame had become a lot more active. However, he felt sure that the celestial river flame had not undergone nirvana, which disappointed Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng did not know if fire origin crystals were the best material for nirvana, but he was sure that even fire origin crystals could not allow his celestial river flame to undergo nirvana. Perhaps the grade of his celestial river flame was just too high. Ning Cheng reluctantly put away the celestial river flame and sent a message to Zish Jun, asking about the jade card. Zish Jun's message quickly came back, telling Ning Cheng that he had managed to get a small booth for tonight's auction and was ready to purchase the jade card to enter the immortal jade star. However, he might not have enough celestial coins. Ning Cheng immediately asked Zish Jun to go to the Celestial Immortal Street Speed Celestial Rest Stop and wait for him. At the same time, he scolded himself for being muddle-headed. A jade card to enter the immortal jade star definitely had a high price, yet he had forgotten to get Zish Jun some celestial coins. If one had to say the largest merchant house in the Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City, then it would definitely be the Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall. This was not a merchant house, but a hall. Even the most top-grade items could be sold here, without worrying about others not being able to afford the price. Similarly, if one wanted any weapon, as long as one could refine it, as long as one could afford it, this place could also help one obtain it. Those who could come to the Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall were definitely not rogue cultivators without money. Most of them were wealthy Starry Sky cultivators, or people with some background. Therefore, every guest who came here had a dedicated female cultivator to receive them. At this time, a man with a white face and a starry sky scarf walked in from the entrance of the Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall. The celestial wheels behind this man had completely integrated into one, and the celestial wheels no longer contained any impurities. Moreover, it even gave off a faint starry sky pressure. At a glance, anyone with a discerning eye would know that this was at least a powerhouse in the life and death realm. "Senior, may I ask what help you need?" The man had just walked into the hall when a pretty female cultivator greeted him with a smile. The man nodded and spoke with an expressionless voice, "This emperor has a treasure to sell. Take this emperor to see your steward." Addressing himself as this emperor meant that he was a starry sky powerhouse in the eternal realm. In the face of such a powerhouse, ordinary cultivators would not even be able to speak properly. "Yes, Heavenly Emperor, please come with me." Although this female cultivator spoke with a respectful tone, she did not show any subservience. From this, one could tell that many starry sky emperors came here. This man was obviously Ning Cheng in disguise. It would be difficult for others to obtain celestial wheels, but his mysterious yellow formless was formless and formless, which meant that he could simulate as many celestial wheels as he wanted. What he worried about the most was that if a starry sky emperor tried to oppress him with their imposing aura, it would truly be a disaster. The pretty female cultivator quickly led Ning Cheng upstairs and came to one of the rooms. Without waiting for her to speak, the restrictions on the room automatically opened. A middle-aged beautiful woman was sitting on a chair inside the room. When she saw Ning Cheng outside, she immediately stood up and spoke with a genial tone, "Welcome to my Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall, Dao friend, please come in." Ning Cheng nodded and calmly walked in. What worried him did not happen. Although this middle-aged beautiful woman's cultivation did not seem low, she did not use any imposing aura to oppress him. After the pretty female cultivator brought Ning Cheng in, she quickly left. The middle-aged beautiful woman once again activated the restrictions on the door and took the initiative to pour a cup of tea for Ning Cheng. After asking Ning Cheng to sit down, she asked, "Dao friend, what treasures do you have for sale?" Ning Cheng still did not speak. Instead, he took out a jade box and placed it in front of the middle-aged beautiful woman before speaking, Dao friend, take a look for yourself. I obtained this by chance. The middle-aged beautiful woman picked up the jade box with a smile and casually opened it. However, she immediately closed the jade box again in shock. She even activated a few more restrictions on it before speaking up with a sharp glint in her eyes, "Is this a time stone?" Ning Qing showed a slight smile and took a sip of the spiritual tea. "Yes, this is a time stone. I want to sell this time stone. You can name a price." The beautiful woman's eyes showed some heat, however, this heat quickly subsided. She knew that although time stones were precious, a time stone could not help people touch the laws of time. Unfortunately, time stones were a special product of Striking Order Starry Skies. Moreover, even Striking Order Starry Skies Emperor could not obtain them often. During the opening of the Time Wilderness, Striking Order Starry Skies Emperor had obtained some time stones, however, he would never take them out. But now, a time stone had appeared in this place. Moreover, it was a time stone the size of an egg, which meant that it was priceless. "How many do you have?" The beautiful woman took in a deep breath and calmed herself down. Ning Qing showed a faint smile and spoke, "Dao friend must be joking. It's already a blessing to be able to obtain even one of these things. How could I have many of them? Does this Dao friend want to consign this time stone for auction or sell it directly to our Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall?" The beautiful woman spoke while looking at Ning Qing eagerly. She hoped that Ning Qing would sell it directly to the Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall. Ning Qing felt a little hesitant. Selling it directly would not fetch a high price, but it would be too risky to consign it for auction. If he consigned it for auction, he would have to wait for the other party to sell the time stone before coming back to collect the celestial coins. In case someone decided to take the risk for the time stone, what would he do then? Our Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall will be holding a big auction tonight. If you want to consign it for auction, then today would be a good time. The beautiful woman saw Ning Qing hesitating and quickly explained. Ning Qing made up his mind. He could make a fortune at any time, but now was not the time to take such risks. He immediately spoke up, "I'll sell it now." "How much do you want? How do you want us to pay for it?" The beautiful woman, on hearing Ning Qing say that he wanted to sell it now, her tone turned even calmer. However, she felt even more happy in her heart. In this way, the Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall could obtain the greatest benefits. "I've never been here before. Can you give me an introduction?" Ning Qing did not want to fall into a trap again. The beautiful woman nodded, "You can choose to exchange it for other things, or you can let us pay with perpetual moon pills." "You can pay with perpetual moon pills?" Ning Qing asked in surprise, "Why not use celestial coins?" When the beautiful woman heard Ning Qing's words, her eyes immediately lit up with eagerness. "Dao friend, do you want celestial coins?" Chapter 591. Fellow Daoist, if you want star coins, in Ning Qing's view, Ish Jun was a good friend. Without Zish Jun, he would not have known about the immortal Jade Star and would not have been able to save Qianghua. As for the Jade card to enter the immortal Jade Star, Zish Jun must have been trying to find a way, however, his ability was indeed limited. Zish Jun spoke up with some guilt, "Brother Ning, I have participated in several auctions, but none of them succeeded in buying anything. This time, I specially raised some purple coins, but I'm afraid it's still not enough. I'm really sorry." Before heading to the auction, Ning Qing had deliberately inquired about the exchange rate between perpetual moon pills and purple coins. When he realized that, in theory, 10,000 purple coins could be exchanged for a perpetual moon pill, but in reality, perpetual moon pills were extremely difficult to obtain, he realized that his 1 billion purple coins were just a fraction of what the other party threw out, something that the other party did not even care about. The number of auctions held by the Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall was truly innumerable, and this auction was only one of the countless times. In terms of scale, it could only be considered average. Because of the sudden appearance of the time stones, the auction suddenly upgraded. With so many almighty beings attending the auction, not only did the auction house remove some of the ordinary goods, but they also added many top-grade treasures. At this time, a pretty female cultivator in a tight-fitting cultivator robe walked onto the auction stage in the middle. This female cultivator had 6 celestial wheels behind her, indicating that she was at the peak of heaven's mandate realm. The Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall had a deep heritage. Even a random female cultivator who came up for the auction had a much higher cultivation than him. Ning Qing knew that the price he quoted was too low, but he did not think that this beautiful woman would be so cunning. Everyone knew that this female cultivator's words were as hypocritical as they could get, but no one stood up and said anything. The Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall's strength was renowned throughout the entire grand culmination starry skies. Ordinary heavenly emperors were not qualified to compete against the Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall. Would they care about that? All they cared about was how much they could earn. It's just that the number of booths available for the auction was limited. If one did not have a booth to purchase a treasure like the time stone, then which ordinary cultivator would dare to buy it? Some reserved private rooms instantly became sought-after goods. Many people even sold their private rooms at 100 times the original price. After Dai Jia finished speaking, she raised the 2 starry sky rings and casually created a beautiful ring silhouette. Just as she had said, the starry sky bracelet was not only beautiful, but it was also a beautiful accessory. Deal. The beautiful woman did not even try to bargain, and immediately agreed to Ning Cheng's offer. At the same time, he raised his hand and put away Ning Cheng's time stone. He then took out a ring and handed it to Ning Cheng. "This is what you need." When Ning Cheng heard the words of this beautiful woman, he immediately understood that this kind of treasure would not be measured in celestial coins. If he were to ask for star coins, he would definitely suffer a loss. Ning Cheng had just entered the venue, when many people came up to ask if there were any booths available, but Ning Cheng simply ignored them. He quickly found booth 391, opened the restrictions, and entered. The first thing he did was to set up array formations and shielding restrictions in the booth. Moreover, he was sure that the person who obtained the time stone was definitely a rogue cultivator. If it was a cultivator from an ordinary sect or force, how could he be so stupid as to take out a time stone to sell? Even if it couldn't be used now, it would come in handy in the future. Unfortunately, although he was a heavenly emperor, he could only sit still within the eternal heaven starry sky city. These powerhouses from the major starry skies did not lack celestial coins. Not only did they have perpetual moon pills, but they also had a lot of permanent essence pills. This beautiful thing immediately attracted many people's bids, and most of them were female cultivators. 5 million perpetual moon pills, 1 billion purple coins. Ning Qing knew that time stones were precious, but he did not know how much they could sell for. He simply raised the price high and let the other party bargain. Now, let's officially enter the auction. The first treasure we want to sell today is a pair of starry skies rings. This is a defensive weapon, a high-grade Dao artifact. When the opponent attacks, it can form a stack of beautiful ring shadows. These ring shadows can not only defend but also weaken the opponent's domain. What's even more precious is that the starry skies rings are a beautiful bracelet that can be worn on one's wrist. For female cultivators, there is no better treasure than this. With a few hours left before the auction, Ning Cheng arrived outside the auction venue, which was already overcrowded with people. People everywhere were holding up signs to buy the auction booths, and the price was 100 times or even hundreds of times higher than the original price. Many thanks, Brother Ning. Brother Ning, please pay attention to your tracks when you go to the auction today. I heard that a time stone appeared in this auction. This time stone attracted many powerhouses to attend the auction. Zish Jun, on hearing Ning Cheng's words, no longer acted pretentiously. Ning Cheng showed a smile. "It's all right. Just give me the auction booth, I'll go by myself." Ning Cheng closed his eyes and did not sweep out with his spiritual consciousness. When the immortal Jade Star was about to open, the eternal heaven starry sky city could be said to be filled with powerhouses like clouds. Any one of them could easily reach the Fate realm. Senior apprentice Sister Yi, do you want to go and have a look? Shi Qianghua understood Jing Yi's meaning. She wanted Sacred Master to take them to have a look. Ning Cheng grabbed the ring and casually swept it with his spiritual consciousness before nodding to the beautiful woman. He then turned around and quickly left the Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall. When Ning Cheng disguised himself as an ordinary middle-aged man and arrived at the Speed Celestial rest stop, Zish Jun had already been waiting for him for a long time. After the display, Dai Jia spoke up with a smile, let's start the bidding for this pair of starry sky rings. The base price is 10 million purple coins. Those who bid with perpetual moon pills will have priority. The two chatted for a while and drank a few pots of spiritual wine before leaving the Speed Celestial rest stop. Jing Yi quickly spoke up, yes, you can go and talk to Sacred Master. Sacred Master likes you a lot. Maybe he would agree. The appearance of the Time Stone at the auction had caused a sensation in the Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City. But I feel guilty. I took Brother Ning's things, but I couldn't help you. Zish Jun took out the jade card to enter the booth and handed it to Ning Cheng with an embarrassed tone. If it were something else, Shi Qianghua would not have wanted to go there. However, the Time Stone was related to Ning Cheng and related to some things that she did not understand. As such, she also wanted to go and have a look. She even wanted to know if Ning Cheng had brought the Time Stone to the auction. Brother Zish, I was delayed by some things. Ning Cheng entered the booth and activated the restrictions. A few hours passed by quickly. As Ning Cheng swept out with his spiritual consciousness, he found that the entire auction venue was filled with people. A tyrannical spiritual consciousness swept through Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness, causing Ning Cheng to feel secretly surprised. Fortunately, his booth not only had the auction house's shielding array formation but also some array formations that he had arranged himself. Coupled with his disguise as a middle-aged man, there should not be any problems. Ning Cheng did not wait for the beautiful woman to speak and waved his hand, I only want a few celestial coins. You can give me perpetual moon pills. As for the price, I can't estimate it accurately. You can talk about it, and I'll see if it's appropriate. In Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City Striking Order Starry Sky, Striking Order Heavenly Emperor's face turned gloomy. He felt sure that someone had hidden the time stones when they came out of the time wilderness. Unfortunately, he could not find out who did it. Time stones. Shi Qianghua stood up in shock. She had 10 time stones on her, all of which were given to her by Ning Cheng. She also knew that this kind of thing was very precious, but she did not dare to take it out. Even if she wanted to take it out, she had to first figure out the true relationship between her and Ning Cheng. Sure enough, it did not take long for the array formation display in Ning Cheng's booth to show a variety of information about the exchange booth. This made Ning Cheng feel extremely grateful towards Zish Jun. If not for Zish Jun, he would not have been able to get a booth. A moment after Ning Cheng left, the beautiful woman sent out several messages. In just a short incense stick worth of time, the entire Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City came to know about one thing. That is, a time stone would appear in the Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall's auction tonight. Many thanks, Sacred Master. Jing Yi and Shi Qianghua quickly thanked her with a bow. Okay, 1 million perpetual moon pills, 500 million purple coins, how about it? The beautiful woman spoke in a straightforward manner and quickly stated a price. Because of this, when the time stone appeared, it instantly caused a stir in the entire Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City. Some of the experts who had not planned to attend the auction immediately changed their minds and decided to attend the auction. Now that the time stone appeared in the Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City, did it mean that Ning Cheng had not fallen and had returned? She immediately recalled Ning Cheng's words, I'm fine, you don't have to worry about me. Ning Qing smiled and patted Zish Jun's shoulder. Brother Zish, you have helped me too much. After I arrived at Grand Culmination Starry Sky, you are the one who helped me the most. In the future, if Brother Zish needs any help from me, please don't hesitate to ask. The female cultivator gave a slight bow before speaking with a crisp voice. Friends, I am Dai Jia of the Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall. Welcome to my Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall for tonight's auction. Many powerhouses and heavenly emperors have come to attend this auction. You are my seniors and also my Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall's honored guests. My Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall does not have enough booths for all of you, I sincerely apologize. Junior Apprentice Sister Cheong, do you know what appeared in the Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City? Time stones. Sacred Master will definitely go there. As long as you are a cultivator in the Heaven's Mandate realm, no one would not want time stones. Jing Yi deliberately came to the place where Shi Qianghua cultivated and told Shi Qianghua about it. Brother Zish, rest assured. Ning Qing smiled. This was not the first time he attended an auction, not to mention that he was in a booth with a top-grade appearance-changing mask. Ning Cheng's gaze then fell on Shi Qianghua and found that Shi Qianghua's eyes contained some longing. She placed her hand on the bidding board as if she wanted to bid but was afraid of not having enough celestial coins. He immediately decided to buy this pair of starry sky rings for Shi Qianghua. Why did Qianghua come here? Ning Qing soon saw Shi Qianghua. She and Jing Yi sat next to the everlasting sacred shrine's sacred master. Apparently, they did not manage to get a booth. It seems that they did not intend to buy anything, as there were no restrictions placed on their seats. There are many people who want to snatch the time stones this time. Even if I go, the chances are not very high. However, I will still go. When the time comes, the auction will bring out the time stones for everyone to see. This thing contains the laws of time, so it would be beneficial to have a look at it. Since you two want to go, then come with me. Mi Hui's voice reached the ears of Shi Qianghua and Jing Yi in time. 1,000,000 perpetual moon pills, this was somewhat beyond Ning Cheng's expectations. He had obtained hundreds of thousands of perpetual moon pills from the pill pond. What did powerhouses need? Not low-level cultivation resources, not celestial coins, not ordinary weapons, but top-grade things. What's the best? Of course, it was treasures that could help one perceive the power of laws. Chapter 592. 11 million, 12 million. 17 million purple coins. Ning Cheng had to say that the people bidding were too enthusiastic. Just as Ning Cheng was about to bid, the price suddenly rose to 20 million purple coins. Ning Cheng entered a bid of 30 million purple coins on the quotation screen, but before he could quote the price, a bid of 50 million suddenly appeared on the huge quotation screen. Dai Jia did not even speak before the previous bid, let alone add fuel to the fire. But now that the bid of 50 million appeared, it immediately aroused her interest and spoke up on the auction stage. Someone has already bid 50 million. Even if a male cultivator bought this pair of starry sky rings, it would be the best item to give to the woman he likes. 50 million going once, is there any higher bid? The bid of 50 million indeed caused a moment of silence, but this silence was quickly broken by a new bid. The price on the bidding screen refreshed to 60 million. At this price, many of the female cultivators gave up on bidding. There were not many female cultivators as rich as junior apprentice Sister Yen. What's more, this price had already reached the upper limit of this pair of starry sky rings. Shi Qianghua also gave up on bidding. In other words, she did not even bid once before giving up. It stood to reason that she could afford this treasure, however, for some reason, she did not take out any perpetual moon pills. 60 million only paused for a moment before it reached 70 million and then 80 million. Ning Cheng did not continue to wait and directly bid 100 million purple coins. By this time, he had already convinced himself that he had been cheated when he bought the middle-grade Dao artifact mask. A friend bid 100 million. This is the VIP in booth 391. Dai Jia's words finally showed some excitement. Her voice had just finished when the price rose to 120 million. Ning Qing did not hesitate to raise the price to 150 million purple coins. In the Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City, this price had already exceeded the price of a high-grade Dao artifact. If it were any other time, Ning Qing would never have bought it. Not to mention that he was an artifact crafting master, even if he could not craft this Starry Sky ring now, he would definitely be able to craft it in the future. But it was different now. It was Qianghua who wanted it. Ning Qing felt more than just guilt towards Shi Qianghua. He truly liked Qianghua, coupled with the guilt he felt towards Qianghua, even if he had to pay any price, as long as Shi Qianghua wanted it, he would be happy to do it. If the other party wanted to increase the price, Ning Qing would even have to take out perpetual moon pills to buy this pair of Starry Sky rings. There were no fools here. Even if someone wanted to increase the price, Ning Qing would not mind spending more than 150 million purple coins to buy a high-grade Dao artifact. 150 million going once. Is there anyone else who wants to bid? 150 million going twice. Congratulations to the friend in box 391 for getting the beautiful Starry Sky ring. With Dai Jia's third bid, the first auction finally came to an end. Ning Qing managed to purchase this pair of Starry Sky bangles for 150 million. Ning Qing took out 150 million purple coins and in just a few breaths, placed, 1,000,000 purple coins. Qing carefully, he put, Ning, he put it, he put. Star, to put. Seeing the first item cause such a fierce battle, it also raised the interest of the rest of the cultivators in the auction venue. Everyone looked forward to the appearance of the time stones while feeling the battle between these rich cultivators. Dai Jia smiled and raised a jade box again. This auction will be exciting. The second item for auction is called the Starry Sky Positional Ball. This Starry Sky Positional Ball not only locates most of the Starry Sky positions of our entire Grand Eternal Heaven Starry Sky, but it also includes most of the Starry Sky positions of the Grand Demon Domain Starry Sky, the Grand Devil Domain Starry Sky and the Grand Spirit Heaven Starry Sky. After Dai Jia finished, she opened the jade box and lifted one of the balls. Ning Qing's spiritual consciousness swept out and found that the ball was covered with a variety of bright spots, just like a vast planet. However, his spiritual consciousness could not penetrate it, indicating that this Starry Sky positional ball needed to be refined. When Ning Qing heard this, he immediately felt an urge to obtain it. This kind of thing was a treasure even more powerful than a semi-spirit artifact. At least in this part of the Starry Sky, he would not get lost. If he got lost in the Starry Sky, it was very likely that he would die. The starting price of the Starry Sky positional sphere is 10,000 perpetual moon pills. Each increment must not be lower than 1,000 perpetual moon pills. No purple coins. The bidding starts now. Dai Jia's words had just ended when a saw-like voice rang out, 100,000 perpetual moon pills. Ning Qing had some doubts in his heart, but what he was puzzled about was not the quotation of this person, but rather the quotation could be made through the quotation screen in front of him, so why did the other party want to quote it out loud? What made Ning Qing even more puzzled was that after this voice quoted the price, the entire auction house was completely silent. Not only did no new price appear on the large bidding screen, even the people in the auction house did not make any sound of discussion. Ning Qing, who originally wanted to quote 110,000 perpetual moon pills, abruptly took back his hand. He guessed that this matter was not as simple as it seemed. Sure enough, Dai Jia, who stood on the auction stage, spoke up with a smile. The VIP in booth 4 bid 100,000 perpetual moon pills. Is there a higher price? If there isn't, then the spatial positioning ball belongs to this friend here. Ning Qing could clearly see that Dai Jia's smile was a bit forced at this time. From this, it could be seen that she did not like this kind of bidding method, however, she did not have the ability to stop it. Ning Qing was glad that he did not quote a price, otherwise he would have definitely offended an old ghost. These bastards relied on the fact that they had some cultivation. They were really too unkind. 120,000 perpetual moon pills. Another new price appeared on the huge price display screen. At this time, even Ning Qing wanted to know who this fellow who had eaten a tiger's courage was. 120,000 perpetual moon pills. Is there a higher price? A friend quoted 120,000 perpetual moon pills. As soon as this new price appeared, Dai Jia called out anxiously. Apparently, she was eager to see more and more people quoting. A cold snort arrived, causing Ning Qing to feel a jolt in his heart, and then the grinding sound appeared once again. 200,000 perpetual moon pills. Even a fool could tell that this voice sounded very dissatisfied. Fortunately, the fellow who quoted 120,000 perpetual moon pills finally understood that something was wrong and did not continue to quote. Everyone knew that the person who quoted 120,000 perpetual moon pills had already offended someone. The VIP in booth 4 bid 200,000 perpetual moon pills. Is there a higher price? 200,000 perpetual moon pills going once. No matter how Dai Jia tried to entice people, no one dared to continue bidding above this price. Finally, the powerhouse in booth 4 bought the Starry Sky positioning ball. The third treasure is a top-grade material called Fire Cloud Buddhist Silk. The base price is 50 million purple coins. Each of the following treasures was a good thing, and there was even a real Starry Sky battleship. Although Ning Qing really wanted this Starry Sky battleship, he held back. He did not have many perpetual moon pills. In addition to buying jade cards, he also had to keep some for cultivation. The next treasure is called Sky Treasure Silk. It is an artifact crafting material that can also help cultivators upgrade their flight-type weapons. When Dai Jia spoke the word Sky Treasure Silk, Ning Qing's spirit instantly rose. Sky Treasure Silk was something he had always wanted. This place did not contain any traps, right? The base price of Sky Treasure Silk is 20 million purple coins. Perpetual moon pills have priority. The bidding starts now. As soon as Dai Jia's voice fell, Ning Qing immediately entered 30 million purple coins. This thing, he had to get it. For him, this thing was not much worse than the jade card needed to enter the immortal jade star. After all, it was something that he could obtain in front of him. As for the immortal jade star, whether he could obtain any treasures after entering it would depend on his luck. 50 million. 80 million purple coins. When Ning Qing bid 80 million, he knew that only one person would compete with him for this Sky Treasure Silk. From this, he could tell that this person was also in urgent need of this Sky Treasure Silk. 100 million purple coins. The other party might have become anxious and directly bid 100 million. Dai Jia once again turned enthusiastic and tried to persuade him with an enthusiastic tone. 100 million purple coins, is there any higher bid? Sky Treasure Silk is not something that one can obtain casually. If you miss this opportunity, I don't know when you will get another one. The other party felt anxious, but Ning Qing felt even more anxious. He knew that using purple coins in this situation would only lead to a dead end. In the end, the auction house would end up profiting. Even if the Sky Treasure Silk was precious, it should not be to this extent. 10,000 perpetual moon pills. Ning Qing directly used perpetual moon pills to bid. In fact, in theory, 10,000 perpetual moon pills was about the same as 100 million purple coins. However, no one had ever used 10,000 perpetual moon pills to exchange for purple coins. It was an idiotic act. Fortunately, Dai Jia did not mention the lowest price increase, so he did not break the rules. Chapter 593. There was also another source, which was the extraction of it by almighty beings. Some Starry Skies powerhouses could extract perpetual moon pills from places rich in Starry Skies essence chi. This kind of extraction could be done using one's own celestial essence or using top-grade weapons. A weapon that could extract perpetual moon pills definitely surpassed the existence of Dao artifacts. However, there was a drawback to the extraction process, that is, if the cultivator's celestial essence was not pure enough, the extracted perpetual moon pills would turn out to be inferior to naturally condensed perpetual moon pills. Moreover, it wasn't worth it to use his wealth and Do Chi for a piece of sky treasure silk. Regardless of whether the other party was framing him or not, Ning Qing decided to give up. He was not a fool. There were no sky treasured silk, so he waited a little longer. This kind of thing was not as precious as the time stones. He wasn't willing to pay several times the price for it. After Dai Jia said that, the restrictive arrays around the cultivator immediately dissipated. Everyone there saw the cultivator who had randomly quoted a price. It was a round-faced teenager who did not look too old. Moreover, his cultivation was only at the celestial novice realm. Don't kill me, I'm looking for my uncle master. My uncle master and my master are both powerhouses, they will definitely repay the perpetual moon pills, woo woo woo. The teenager initially spoke with a sobbing tone, but when he reached the end, he unexpectedly started crying. There were only two sources for this kind of pill. One was that it was produced automatically in a specific environment. It was not unusual for cultivators to see pill pools, pill rivers, or even perpetual moon pills pill seas. The size of the perpetual moon pill was fixed according to the amount of starry sky essence chi it contained after purification. If it was too much, it would crack, and if it was too little, it would continue to condense. Perhaps it was due to the fact that this cultivator was quite young that he showed some mercy. However, no matter how lenient he was, the other party would still have to take out the item. 11,000 perpetual moon pills. Sure enough, with Dai Jia's encouragement, someone increased the price. In an auction, one could use an item of equal value as collateral for the auction, but one had to say it in advance and wait for the auctioneer to appraise the item before bidding. This cultivator did not take out any items for the auction house to appraise. Instead, he directly quoted the price before saying those words. This was already a violation of the auction house's rules. Dai Jia had shown mercy by letting this cultivator take out his items as collateral. The cultivators in the venue didn't expect that such a small sky treasure silk could be auctioned off with such passion. Many people had come here to see the time stones, but none of them thought that there would be an appetizer in front of them. Now that this booth 391 was willing to help pay for the perpetual moon pills, it was simply incredible. It was rare to see such a good person who repaid evil with kindness. Wait. I'll pay for this perpetual moon pill for him. After Ning Qing saw the round-faced teenager, he suddenly circulated his celestial essence and spoke out loudly. 31,000 perpetual moon pills. The price on the huge quotation screen added another 1,000 to Ning Cheng's price. I don't have any perpetual moon pills, I am willing to use other things as collateral. As the sobbing voice came out, everyone's eyes immediately turned to a seat in the corner. Within the starry skies, there was a medicinal pill even more precious than the perpetual moon pill called the permanent essence pill. However, the conditions for the formation of the permanent essence pill were even more stringent. Its cultivation effects were many times better than perpetual moon pills. However, within the grand culmination starry skies, permanent essence pills were still not a lot. Perhaps because this round-faced teenager was too young, or because this round-faced teenager said that his master and martial uncle were all powerhouses, Dai Jia unexpectedly agreed to Ning Cheng's words. Since this friend from booth 391 is willing to help pay for the perpetual moon pills, then my auction house will take the initiative to send the sky treasure silk to booth 391. I hope that similar situations do not occur again in the following auctions. Ning Qing did not continue to increase the price. He felt that something was wrong. The other party increased the price by 1,000 perpetual moon pills each time. It stood to reason that anyone who could pay 31,000 perpetual moon pills was considered rich. However, this fellow did not even raise the price with purple coins in such a straightforward manner, right? At this time, a round-faced teenager sitting in the corner of the auction hall looked at the "Please pay 31,000 perpetual moon pills" on the seat in front of him with a pale face. Not to mention 31,000 perpetual moon pills, he did not even have a single perpetual moon pill on him. Although Dai Jia's words sounded calm, the murderous intent in her tone was unmistakable. However, Ning Cheng's impression of this Dai Jia immediately improved. In fact, even if he paid the perpetual moon pills, the Sky Treasure Silk might not necessarily send it to him. Dai Jia sent the Sky Treasure Silk to him, which was equivalent to doing him a favor. A sudden voice emerged, disrupting the auction without any reason: "Kill without mercy." Then a giant hand suddenly stretched out. This giant hand contained a powerful oppressive aura, which even a cultivator in the Celestial River realm would find it hard to breathe. From this, one could tell that this person was an expert in the life and death realm or above. From this, one could imagine that once this giant hand grasped him, this celestial novice cultivator would definitely turn into ashes. Who was this? How could he be so stupid? Using 20,000 perpetual moon pills to bid? With 20,000 perpetual moon pills, one could buy the Sky Treasure Silk several times. Initially, someone had increased the price above 10,000 perpetual moon pills, which had already puzzled many people. But now, someone had directly increased the price to 20,000 perpetual moon pills. This friend, please pay the perpetual moon pills. Only after this transaction ends will we proceed with the next transaction. Please do not delay everyone's time. After 10 breaths, the Sky Treasure Silk had not been traded. Dai Jia, the host of the auction, spoke up with some displeasure. The people in the auction venue felt shocked. The cultivator who said that he would help pay for the perpetual moon pills turned out to be from booth 391. This round-faced teenager had deliberately tried to assassinate the cultivator from booth 391 in order to compete with the cultivator from booth 391, which led to him not being able to pay for the perpetual moon pills and ended up being crushed by the auction house. 20,000 perpetual moon pills. The moment the bid of 20,000 perpetual moon pills appeared on the big screen, not to mention Dai Jia, even the cultivators in the auction hall felt shocked. Cold sweat trickled down the side of the round-faced teenager's face. He knew that if he could not pay the price after bidding here, it would be equivalent to provoking the auction house and would result in immediate death. 20,000 perpetual moon pills, the friend from booth 391 has bid 20,000. Dai Jia's voice turned even more crisp. Moreover, this thing could also be used to power starry sky battleships and various technological weapons. It also had a much better effect compared to ordinary starry sky crystals. To put it bluntly, perpetual moon pills were purified starry sky crystals with very few or no impurities. I'm sorry, I don't have enough collateral on me right now. I'm willing to write down a loan agreement. As long as I can find my uncle master, I can pay you back in double. The round-faced teenager apparently understood the seriousness of the matter and spoke in a sobbing tone. Ning Cheng snorted. He had to obtain the Sky Treasure Silk at all costs. Although the Sky Treasure Silk could be bought elsewhere, something like the twin wings of the heavenly clouds, the sooner he could upgrade it, the better it would be. This was a matter related to his life. When Dai Jia heard this, her face immediately turned cold. Okay, but report what you want to pledge and see if it is sufficient. Hearing someone bid with perpetual moon pills, Dai Jia's voice instantly rose, and her tone turned even more flirtatious. She did not care about the difference between 10,000 perpetual moon pills and 100 million purple coins. In theory, there was no problem in raising the price. She directly spoke up, a friend has bid 10,000 perpetual moon pills. Is there any higher bid? If there is no higher bid, then this Sky Treasure Silk will belong to this friend. Perpetual moon pills can be obtained frequently, but sky treasure silk is not. Because he was not sitting in a booth, he did not have a booth number. Now that he spoke, the others naturally knew his position. He felt angry at Ning Cheng for bidding against him with perpetual moon pills and wanted to force Ning Cheng to put up more perpetual moon pills. As long as Ning Cheng increased his bid again, he would stop bidding. However, he did not expect that the fellow who bid against him would suddenly stop bidding. What could he do? 30,000 perpetual moon pills. Ning Cheng once again added 9,000 perpetual moon pills. He did not believe that someone would be as willing as him. He was preparing for his upcoming trip to the immortal Jade Star. Did this fellow think the same as him? When 10,000 perpetual moon pills was reported, the discussions in the hall turned silent for a moment. Although 10,000 perpetual moon pills was not a lot, few people would use perpetual moon pills to purchase a raw material like the sky treasure silk. Perpetual moon pills were generally used by powerhouses to purchase top-grade treasures. Ordinary cultivators, after obtaining perpetual moon pills, would rarely take them out for exchange. Most of them would be used for cultivation. More importantly, the sky treasure silk was not worth this price. Ning Cheng did not hesitate to input 20,000 perpetual moon pills. He wanted to scare away this fellow who increased the price. The price stopped at 31,000 perpetual moon pills, while Dai Jia still shouted, 31,000 perpetual moon pills going twice, is there anyone else who wants to increase the price? If there is no increase, then the sky treasure silk will belong to this friend. 31,000 perpetual moon pills going thrice. Congratulations to this friend for obtaining the sky treasure silk. The cultivators in the auction hall sucked in a breath of cold air. Being rich truly was good. If you wanted something, you could casually increase the price without thinking about anything else. 31,000 perpetual moon pills for the sky treasure silk. Was this fellow crazy, or was he crazy? The round-faced teenager also felt a little stunned, and even stopped crying. He did not expect that there would be someone who would return evil with good. Perpetual moon pills were different from other medicinal pills. Rather than saying it was a medicinal pill, it was more of a cultivation resource. Cultivators did not use a pill furnace to refine it, but rather the purification and crystallization of starry sky essence qi. It was at least 100 times better than cultivating with starry sky essence qi. Dai Jia excitedly shouted, a friend bid 31,000 perpetual moon pills. 31,000, is there any higher price? If there is no higher price, then the sky treasure silk, a precious material for upgrading a flight-type weapon, will belong to this friend. The moment Dai Jia spoke those words, some people in the auction hall immediately guessed that this was a malicious bid. The person who increased the price had bid 31,000 perpetual moon pills, but his opponent did not increase the price. This was akin to picking up a stone and smashing it on one's own feet. 21,000 perpetual moon pills. What made Ning Cheng angry was that even after he increased the price to 20,000 perpetual moon pills, the fellow who opposed him still increased the price. Dai Jia gave a cold snort and did not speak anymore. Some of the cultivators in the auction hall with lower cultivation felt even more frightened. Causing trouble in this place, this fellow truly wanted to die. Chapter 594. Ning Cheng was not a good person, as such when he saw this round-faced teenager, he immediately knew that this person definitely had a relationship with Tsang Wei. Because of the obvious aura mark left behind by Tsang Wei on his body, as long as someone knew Tsang Wei, they would be able to see it at a glance. Putting away the sky treasure silk, Ning Cheng knew that even if he wanted to find this round-faced youth, he would have to wait until the end of the auction. Although the one who was almost killed a moment ago was not Ning Cheng, but he still felt a lot of urgency in his heart. Without strength, it was true that others could kill him as they wished. If it were an eternal-level expert who could not take out the perpetual moon pills after the bid, even if the auction house felt dissatisfied, they would not have killed him directly. From the looks of it, he would have to use less of the perpetual moon pills. After entering the immortal Jade Star, he would have to find a way to advance to the Celestial Bridge realm and use these perpetual moon pills for cultivation in the future. If he couldn't even protect his own life, what else was there to talk about? A smile returned to Dai Jia's face as she continued to raise the jade box in her hand and said, "There was some unpleasantness in the venue just now. Now, let's continue the auction." The next item for auction is a fire-attributed origin crystal. The fire essence crystal was a great attraction for fire-type cultivators. When Dai Jia mentioned the fire essence crystal, many fervent gazes fell upon the auction stage. Ning Cheng was not interested in these things, and simply closed his eyes to rest. After the fire origin realm, another dozen or so decent items appeared. Because of the matter with the sky treasure silk, Ning Cheng had almost exposed his face, so he simply ignored it. A few hours passed by quietly. Just when many of the cultivators started to feel a little impatient, Dai Jia suddenly raised her voice, "Friends, please pay attention. The next item to be auctioned will be the most eye-catching treasure in this auction, the Time Stone." Following Dai Jia's words, the entire auction house was once again ignited. Many of the cultivators who came here specifically for the Time Stones. Even if he couldn't buy this thing, he could at least feel the laws of time contained within the Time Stone. Unlike the other auction items, this time, a female cultivator came over carrying a tray with a jade box on top of it. Dai Jia raised the jade box in her hand and spoke, "Distinguished guests, according to our auction house's usual practice, everyone will be allowed to admire the Time Stones for 10 breaths before the auction begins." A burst of applause erupted. Apparently, everyone wanted to see the Time Stone. The main reason why so many supreme beings had come to this auction was because of the Time Stone. At this moment, everyone's eyes widened as they focused their divine senses on Dai Jia's hand. Dai Jia opened the jade box, and the flow of time instantly filled everyone's mind. A dark gray stone lay in the jade box. The flow of time on this stone made it impossible for one's spiritual consciousness to stop. In just 10 breaths of time, Dai Jia closed the jade box and the flow of time disappeared. Everyone could only close their eyes and continue comprehending. Unfortunately, no matter how talented one was, one couldn't come into contact with the laws of time in just a short span of 10 breaths with just a glance at this time stone, which only had a superficial understanding of the laws of time. It's really good stuff. Even the cultivators who came here without buying anything felt that the trip was not in vain. Mi Hui also sighed, "It is indeed a good thing, but it's a pity." Shi Qianghua and Jing Yi, who were sitting next to her, understood the meaning of the sacred mistress. This kind of thing, even the sacred mistress could not obtain it. It was not a matter of whether one could afford it or not. However, there was no way to fix the price of this thing. 10,000 perpetual moon pills would not be too little, and even 100 million perpetual moon pills would not be too much. It just depended on how this thing worked for you. Even if many people had 100 million perpetual moon pills, they would not use all of them to buy this time stone. If one could really comprehend the laws of time, even if it cost 10 billion perpetual moon pills, someone would still find a way to buy it. However, it was almost impossible to comprehend the laws of time with just a time stone. Because it was impossible, others would have some scruples when bidding for it. When Shi Qianghua heard the sacred mistress's sigh, she thought of the 10 time stones on her and even wondered if she should give one to the sacred mistress. However, she immediately gave up on the idea. Take Uncle Master Mi Chen, for example. The sacred mistress had looked for Uncle Master Mi Chen to ask Uncle Master Mi Chen for help. Now that Uncle Master Mi Chen had fallen, the sacred mistress had no intention of avenging Uncle Master Mi Chen. She didn't even feel sad about it. From this, one could see that in the heart of the sacred mistress, everything else was secondary. Perhaps only the everlasting sacred shrine was the most important. Although she was a sacred lady, she had not been favored to the point that the sacred mistress would abandon the interests of her sect and herself. Once the sacred mistress learned that she had 10 time stones, she would definitely hand them over. It was not that she did not want to hand them over, but that these time stones did not belong to her at all. She could not even figure out her current relationship with Ning Cheng. Moreover, she felt that she owed Ning Cheng a lot. Dai Jia placed the jade box on the table in front of her and spoke with a smile. Everyone has seen the time stone just now. It is a treasure that can help one comprehend the laws of time. I believe that many seniors have a deeper understanding of the laws than me. Instead of explaining it to me, it is better to let everyone take it back and comprehend it for themselves. The starting price for this time stone is 5 million perpetual moon pills. Each bid must not be lower than 100,000. No purple coins. The bidding starts now. 5 million perpetual moon pills. Almost at the same time as Dai Jia spoke, a price appeared on the huge bidding screen. 7 million perpetual moon pills. The price refreshed in an instant. Ning Cheng gave out a sigh. He knew that he had suffered a huge loss. However, he had no other choice. He did not dare to put the time stone up for auction here. Although he knew that it was a huge loss, he had no choice but to accept it. 6 million perpetual moon pills. 5 million perpetual moon pills. 10 million perpetual moon pills. In just a short time, the price of the time stone soared to 10 million perpetual moon pills. After reaching this price, the number of people bidding decreased, and the increase in the price also became much smaller. In the end, the time stone was bought by Booth 3 for 13 million perpetual moon pills. Ning Cheng could not help but sigh in his heart. It truly was a big profit. He had only obtained 1/3 of this time stone, while the other 2/3 had already been taken away by the auction house. Ning Cheng really wanted to take out 1 or 2 more time stones in exchange for perpetual moon pills, however, he did not dare to do so. Moreover, he also wanted to keep his time stone. In the future, when Luofei wanted to comprehend the laws of time, he could give his time stone to Luofei. The auction of the time stone finally came to an end. As the auction neared its end, many cultivators started to leave the venue. Ning Cheng did not move. He did not come here for the time stone. He came here for the jade card to enter the immortal jade star. Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness swept out and found that Shi Qianghua, Jing Yi, and the Taoist priestess had all left the auction house. Even the round-faced youth, whom he had helped a while ago, had also left. Needless to say, the cultivators who remained at the scene were the same as him. They all came here for the jade card. Sure enough, Dai Jia took out a jade card and spoke, "This is the last auction item, the jade card to enter the immortal jade star. The base price is 10,000 perpetual moon pills, and each increment must not be lower than 1,000 perpetual moon pills. No purple coins. The bidding starts now. Didn't you used to accept purple coins? Why don't you accept them now?" "That's right, we used to accept purple coins. If we don't accept purple coins, what are we going to use to bid?" After Dai Jia said that purple coins would not be accepted, all kinds of panic discussions broke out. Apparently, many cultivators did not expect such a rule. Dai Jia stood on the auction stage and spoke up in a calm voice, "Friends, because our auction house does not have many jade cards to enter the immortal jade star. We won't say anything about other merchant houses, but from now on, all the jade cards from my Eternal Heaven Merchant Hall for the immortal jade star will be auctioned using perpetual moon pills. Most of the people who came here to buy jade cards from the immortal jade star were celestial scryer cultivators. Moreover, many of them came from other starry skies. They had already seen the might of the auction house a moment ago. Therefore, although they felt extremely dissatisfied, they had no choice but to suppress it. 15,000 perpetual moon pills. Ning Cheng immediately quoted a price. He did not want to waste time. He wanted to immediately go out and find that round-faced youth. 20,000 perpetual moon pills. 30,000 perpetual moon pills. 70,000 perpetual moon pills. Ning Cheng looked at the price on the bidding screen in surprise. He had initially thought that 15,000 was already a high price. He did not expect that the competition for the immortal Jade Star's Jade cards would turn out to be so intense. If purple coins were used, it would be close to 1 billion purple coins. No wonder Zish Jun could not afford it. Even if Zish Jun had a powerful background, it would be difficult for him to afford such a price. 100,000 perpetual moon pills. Ning Cheng directly raised the price from 70,000 to 100,000. Sure enough, after Ning Cheng quoted this price, no one increased the price for a while. In the end, Ning Cheng took away the immortal Jade Star's Jade card without any dispute. Chapter 595. Leaving the auction house, Ning Cheng swept out with his spiritual consciousness, but to his disappointment, the round-faced teenager had already left. However, as long as the round-faced teenager was in the eternal heaven starry sky city, Ning Cheng believed that he could ask Zish Jun to help him find him. Obtaining the Jade card was a major event for Ning Cheng. Coupled with the sky treasure silk, his twin wings of the heavenly clouds could advance by another level. The only regret was that the celestial river flame could not be upgraded. Blood River Mountain Fortune Telling, Blood River Mountain Fortune Telling. Ning Cheng had not yet reached the celestial immortal world when he heard the voice of a fortune teller. He looked up and saw the round-faced teenager. This teenager was carrying a signboard with the words Blood River Mountain Fortune Telling and was shouting on the street. The words Blood River Mountain Fortune Telling made Ning Cheng certain that this teenager was sent by elder brother Tsang Wei to find him. This kid could not find him, so he went around shouting, Blood River Mountain Fortune Telling, which meant that the bottom of the Blood River Mountain was the place where Tsang Wei was trapped. But what made him wonder was how Tsang Wei knew that he was here. Ning Cheng walked up and patted the round-faced teenager on the shoulder. "Senior, do you want to have your fortune told?" The round-faced teenager quickly showed a flattering smile. "Less nonsense, did elder brother Tsang Wei send you?" Ning Cheng snorted. The round-faced teenager immediately cried out in surprise, "You must be Uncle Master Ning. My master said that no one would know me except for Uncle Master Ning." "Uncle Master Ning, how did you change your appearance so much that I can't recognize you?" Ning Cheng once again slapped the head of this round-faced teenager and spoke, "Did I used to be familiar with you? Don't talk nonsense, just come with me." This bastard made him spend tens of thousands of perpetual moon pills, which made Ning Cheng very unhappy. Looking at this kid's age, he felt that his courage could cover the sky. What did it have to do with him if others spent more perpetual moon pills? Only a fellow with a hairless mouth would use this kind of method to cheat people. "Yes, Uncle Master." The round-faced teenager put away the signboard and followed Ning Cheng into the Bai Chi artifact crafting store. After Ning Cheng entered the store, he did not see Tsin Yen. Ning Cheng brought the round-faced teenager to the second floor and activated the restriction before asking, "Where is elder brother Tsang Wei? How did he know that I was here? He even asked you to come and look for me." The round-faced youth quickly took out a crystal ball and handed it to Ning Cheng. "This is what Master asked me to leave with you. After you open the restriction, you will find the image of Master's spiritual sense. Master wants me to follow Martial Uncle to roam the world. Why would such a troublemaker follow behind him? How much trouble would he have to face in the future? What is your name?" Ning Cheng put away the crystal ball and asked. The round-faced youth quickly said, "My name is Jian Jiao. My master always calls me Cheap Jiao. Actually, I'm Jian from Sword Chi." Not waiting for Jian Jiao to finish, Ning Cheng interrupted him, "Your master is right. From now on, you will be called Cheap Jiao." "Oh." Jian Jiao drooped his head again. He found that there was not much difference between staying with his martial uncle and staying with his master. "You go down and stand at the counter. I'll have a few words with your master before I come down." Ning Cheng motioned to the round-faced youth to go down first. "Oh." The round-faced youth looked very honest at this moment. However, Ning Cheng absolutely did not believe that he was honest. An honest fellow would not have caused such a big mess at the auction house. If not for the auction house not caring about it and not wanting to kill anyone, this kid would have already lost 10 lives. Maybe it would have even implicated him. Ning Cheng waited for the round-faced youth to go downstairs before taking out the crystal ball and opening the restriction within it. Zhang Wei's image emerged. Brother Ning, I guessed that you would arrive at grand culmination starry sky within 100 years. I didn't expect that you would arrive at grand culmination starry sky in less than 100 years. I really didn't read it wrong. Ning Cheng knew that this was a trace of Zhang Wei's spiritual sense and quickly stood up and called out, Elder Brother Zhang, where are you? I'll come find you once I'm done here. Zhang Wei smiled, no, I'm no longer in this part of the starry sky. I'll take my leave first, and I believe that you will soon be able to fight alongside me. From now on, let's address each other as Senior Apprentice Brother. I'll call you Junior Apprentice Brother Ning. Of course, where is Senior Apprentice Brother going? Ning Cheng asked in confusion. Let's talk about it later. I asked Little Pepper to come here because Little Pepper has no place to go after I leave. I have received a great favor from Little Pepper's mother, so you can help me take care of him for a few years. As long as he reaches the Celestial Bridge realm, you can let him go out on his own. Ning Cheng nodded, Senior Apprentice Brother can rest assured. Leave Little Pepper to me. What I find strange is, how did Senior Apprentice Brother know that I'm in Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City? Zhang Wei's image's expression turned solemn, Junior Apprentice Brother, this is what I wanted to remind you of. I know that you are in Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City, or that you are about to come to Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City because of the sudden appearance of the immortal Jade Star. The immortal Jade Star contains a kind of origin. Generally, the origin would appear because it sensed the aura of a good fortune treasure. This kind of heavenly Tao response is something that no one can explain. I know that you have the good fortune mysterious yellow bead, and the mysterious yellow bead requires 5 kinds of origins to form a world. Moreover, the mysterious yellow bead has already recognized you as its master, which means that the appearance of the immortal Jade Star's origin must have something to do with the mysterious yellow bead. That's why I guessed that you would come to Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City, or at least come to Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City. Senior Apprentice Brother Zhang, I also thought about it. Is it because the good fortune treasure recognized me as its master that I would be able to obtain the origin of the immortal Jade Star? Ning Cheng had thought about this issue before, but he was not sure about it. Now that Zhang Wei spoke about it, he immediately asked about it. Zhang Wei spoke up in a more serious tone, this is what I wanted to tell you. Although the origin appeared because of your good fortune treasure, this origin does not necessarily belong to you. If you are not careful, the origin would end up in someone else's hands. If it was just the origin being taken away by someone else, it would not be a big deal. What I fear the most is that you would fall into the schemes of those old ghosts. Alas, it would be difficult for me to restore my strength in this place. Otherwise, I would have already gone to refine the immortal Jade Star for you. The immortal Jade Star has already been sealed off by some eternal level cultivators. Moreover, my cultivation has fallen too much. Even if I went there, it would be useless. I'm just a celestial scryer cultivator. Even if I obtained a treasure, I would just throw it into the mysterious yellow bead. Eternal level cultivators would not find it easily, right? Ning Cheng asked in doubt. Zhang Wei sneered, then tell me, why did several grand starry skies cultivators seal off the immortal Jade Star with an array formation? Not only is it sealed off, but only celestial scryer cultivators are allowed to enter. Ning Cheng had heard Sun Yan talk about this issue. Sun Yan had initially said that it was because these powerhouses feared that the immortal Jade Star would explode during the fight for it, causing the treasure to escape. Now that Zhang Wei asked this question again, Ning Cheng combined it with Zhang Wei's previous words and immediately sobered up, Senior Apprentice Brother, you mean? San Wei on seeing Ning Cheng understand nodded, that's right. Since I know that the origin appeared, it is because someone with a good fortune treasure came here. Can you guarantee that no one else knows about it? Although this side of the world is ordinary, it still has some knowledgeable cultivators. Once someone learns about this, it would mean that the immortal Jade Star is a conspiracy. Once you obtain the origin, they would then lock onto you. As for the experts of these grand starry skies, what they really want is not the origin, but you, the person with the good fortune treasure. Not to mention that you still have a celestial scryer cultivation, even if you advance to the eternal realm, under the siege of so many powerhouses, how many chances would you have? Ning Cheng broke out in a cold sweat and quickly bowed, many thanks for senior apprentice brother's reminder. Otherwise, I would not have known about it. Do you still plan to go to the immortal Jade Star? Sun Wei looked at Ning Cheng and asked. Ning Cheng showed a smile, naturally. Now that something has appeared, if I don't fight for it, it would mean that I am incompetent. Even if it is a good fortune treasure, it would not recognize an incompetent person as its master. Sun Wei spoke up in appreciation, you're right, a coward does not deserve a good fortune treasure. However, you don't have to worry about it. Once you gather all 5 elements of the origin, it would be difficult for others to take away your good fortune treasure. At that time, you would be the one in control of your world, unlike now, where you can only attach yourself to your world. I can't help you with the immortal Jade Star. If I help you, it would only end up harming you and attracting the attention of others. You can only rely on yourself. Also, remember my words. In the future, after you rush out of this starry sky, you can truly exist. Senior apprentice brother, what do you mean? Ning Cheng quickly asked. Sun Wei spoke up in a deep voice, this is what I wanted to tell you before I left. You asked me where I wanted to go. The eternal realm of this starry sky is just an arrogant name for a realm. The chaotic universe contains countless positional starry skies. However, even if one cultivates to the extreme in these positional starry skies, one cannot truly achieve eternity. Senior apprentice brother, I heard that the lifespan of an eternal realm cultivator is endless. Before Ning Cheng could finish, Sun Wei interrupted him, eternal realm cultivators have endless lifespan. Even when I was at my peak, I could not say that my lifespan was endless. As for cultivators in the eternal realm, if I were at my peak, I could easily pinch them to death. Even if I restored my cultivation and returned to my peak, I would still be just a small creature in this starry sky. Ning Cheng knew that Sun Wei was powerful, but he did not expect him to be this powerful. According to senior apprentice brother Sun Wei's words, his starry sky cultivation journey had just begun. Sun Wei's voice sounded a bit distant, after countless years of pursuit and exploration, I finally found out that after cultivating to the extreme in this universe, there is a new realm. Only by opening this new realm, can one achieve eternity, can one achieve true immortality. However, my cultivation is limited, and I was not willing to slowly fall like this. I looked around for opportunities and finally learned that there is a talisman in this world. This talisman can take me to a place that gives me a better chance to approach the peak and eternity. I found this talisman, but how many people like me are there? They are also looking for true eternity. Finally, I obtained this talisman, but I almost died. Junior apprentice brother, you saved my life. Junior apprentice brother, you should know why I did not snatch your mysterious yellow bead, right? Saving your life is equivalent to giving you a new lease on life. Me snatching your mysterious yellow bead is contrary to my great Tao. I did not misjudge you, you are a brother worth making. If replaced by an unrelated cultivator, I would have already snatched the mysterious yellow bead. Ning Cheng sucked in a breath of cold air. Back at the bottom of the Blood River Mountains, he had almost walked through the gates of hell. From the looks of it, one's own strength was the true strength. Chapter 596. Seemingly seeing through Ning Cheng's thoughts, Sun Wei showed a slight smile, junior apprentice brother, in my heart, you and I are like brothers. What's more, I prefer my own treasures. Although they are not good fortune treasures, they are not bad either. You should cultivate well and strive to grasp your destiny in your own hands one day. Senior apprentice brother, you just said that after cultivating to the extreme in this universe, there is a new realm. Only by opening this new realm, can one attain eternity and become truly immortal. What realm is this realm? Ning Cheng asked. San Wei patted Ning Cheng's shoulder with his phantom hand and smiled, I spent millions of years to figure out this truth. Now I will tell you, perhaps you are the youngest cultivator in this universe to know about this realm. Please enlighten me, senior apprentice brother. Ning Cheng suddenly felt a desire in his heart. He longed to be like San Wei, to rush through the starry sky universe. To find that side of the world, to find that dream. San Wei slowly spoke, I don't know what that world is, but I know that to go to that world, you must open a door. Only when your cultivation reaches a certain level would you be able to sense that door, and only then would you be able to push it open. That door is called the Gate of Good Fortune. The Gate of Good Fortune. Senior apprentice brother, did you use the heaven opening talisman to open the Gate of Good Fortune? No, I heard that the heaven opening talisman opens a positional plane closest to the Gate of Good Fortune. Only in this positional plane can I have a chance to touch the Gate of Good Fortune. Even if it was just a phantom, after Tsang Wei finished speaking, his eyes turned fiery, junior apprentice brother, I have been waiting for countless years, and I can't wait any longer. Therefore, I want to go first. I want to grasp my destiny in my own hands. I will wait for you, and in the future, we brothers will blast open the Gate of Good Fortune together. After Tsang Wei finished this sentence, the phantom gradually faded away. Ning Cheng's heart felt like it was burning with a fire. Originally, the eternal realm was his ultimate goal, but now he realized that the eternal realm was not even worth mentioning in the vast universe. Senior apprentice brother, you go first. In the future, I will definitely come and fight alongside you to open the Gate of Good Fortune. Ning Cheng spoke up. From today onwards, he had a clear goal. Once he transformed his mysterious yellow bead into a world of its own, he would then bring Qianghua, Luofei and his little sister out of the shackles of this starry sky. To pursue true eternity, to search for that Gate of Good Fortune. It would have been fine if he did not know about the existence of cultivation. However, now that he knew that there were cultivators in the starry skies, it meant that there was a path of cultivation. Then he would pursue the highest realm and walk the path of the strongest. Ning Cheng put away the crystal ball and was just about to call Jian Jiao up, when he saw Xin Yan coming back and asking Jian Jiao some questions. Senior apprentice brother Ning, why is he here? Seeing Ning Cheng come down, junior apprentice sister Yan pointed at Jian Jiao and asked in a tired tone. The professional smile on her face had also disappeared without a trace. Sister, my name is Jian Jiao. Treasure sword means sword, not cheap means cheap. Not waiting for Ning Cheng to speak, Jian Jiao quickly spoke up in front of him. Xin Yan's expression was ugly. I know you. Aren't you the audacious guy who was almost crushed to death today? What I'm asking is, why are you here in our shop? Ah, sister, did you also go to the auction? Jian Jiao completely forgot about the matter of him almost being crushed to death and spoke up in a surprised tone, I was too greedy. I almost succeeded. As long as I didn't bid 31,000 perpetual moon pills, I would have cheated that guy. Xin Yan not only did not smile, but also showed a cold expression, you already succeeded. Didn't you cheat that guy for 31,000 perpetual moon pills? If it weren't for that guy, you would have already turned to ashes. Our Bai Chi artifact crafting store does not welcome people like you, get out. This was the first time Ning Cheng had seen junior apprentice sister Yan so angry. He was just about to speak when Jian Jiao lowered his head and spoke, I'm sorry, sister. I know I was wrong. I regret it now. I shouldn't have cheated that person. He is my benefactor. I just heard that my uncle master has the twin wings of the heavenly clouds, so I wanted to buy the sky treasure silk for my uncle master as a greeting gift. Ning Cheng did not know whether to laugh or cry. In the end, this fellow bought the sky treasure silk for him. If he had known this earlier, he would not have competed in the first place. Who is your uncle master? Sun Yan did not have a good impression of this round-faced teenager. Jian Jiao quickly pointed to Ning Cheng and spoke, "My uncle master is your senior apprentice brother. From now on, we are a family." Sun Yan looked at Ning Cheng in amazement. "Senior apprentice brother, I didn't expect you to have the twin wings of the heavenly clouds." Ning Cheng slapped Jian Jiao's head and spoke, "Go to the side. No one will think you are a mute if you don't speak." "Yes." Jian Jiao walked to the side and sat down. He did not know why this uncle master Ning did not like him. After Jian Jiao walked away, Sun Yan spoke to Ning Cheng apologetically, "Senior apprentice brother, I did not buy the fire origin crystals today. The price was too high." "Did you go to the auction venue?" Ning Cheng asked. He clearly did not see Sun Yan there. But then he remembered what was going on. Since his cheap master had given him a good mask, then he must have also given one to Sun Yan. "Yes, I changed my appearance." Sun Yan spoke in a depressed tone. Ning Cheng was about to say that he wanted to help, but could not participate in the artifact crafting competition for various reasons. However, when the words reached his mouth, he suddenly swallowed them back. He recalled what Song Wei had said to him. If what Song Wei said was true, then every cultivator who entered the immortal Jade Star would be scrutinized by others using their spiritual consciousness. If that was the case, wouldn't someone be able to see that he possessed the mysterious yellow bead? Instead of entering the immortal Jade Star and being seen through by a bunch of eternal-level experts, he might as well go to the artifact crafting competition and see if eternal-level cultivators could sense his mysterious yellow bead. If they could sense it here, then why would he even bother going to the immortal Jade Star? When Song Wei left, he did not even have the time to ask about it. It was a mistake, a huge mistake. Junior apprentice Sister Yan, do you have a top-grade escape talisman? You know, I told you that I had offended an expert. If he also went to the artifact crafting competition, would immediately escape. Ning Cheng asked with some embarrassment. He felt a little embarrassed. It was tantamount to using junior apprentice Sister Yan. Ning Cheng thought that facing a few eternal-level experts was better than facing a group of eternal-level experts. Moreover, it was impossible for a group of eternal-level experts to go to the artifact crafting competition, right? Ning Cheng did not know if his cheap master, Zhongli Baiqi, had noticed that he possessed the mysterious yellow bead. Moreover, he also did not know about Zhongli Baiqi's cultivation. Jian Jiao quickly called out from the side, "Uncle Master, I have an escape talisman here. Master asked me to bring it to you. Master said that you might have a use for it this time." Ning Cheng felt overjoyed on hearing Jian Jiao's words. "Then why haven't you taken it out yet?" Jian Jiao quickly took out a jade box from his ring and handed it to Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng opened it and saw a Dao charm flowing around it. How was this a talisman? This was something beyond a Dao artifact. What kind of talisman is this? Sun Yan looked at the escape talisman in Ning Cheng's hand and spoke with a trembling voice. To be honest, she felt shocked by this talisman. Jian Jiao spoke up with pride, "Master said that this is a breaking boundary talisman, crafted by an artifact crafting grandmaster Fu Lai. It definitely is a good thing and would definitely help Uncle Master." Breaking boundary talisman. Sun Yan stared at the jade box in Ning Cheng's hand in shock. There were many kinds of breaking boundary talismans, but the one in Ning Cheng's hand was undoubtedly of a very high grade. Ning Cheng quickly closed the jade box and put it away. Although he felt happy in his heart, he also felt a little unhappy. Song Wei had brought something to him, but this kid did not take it out immediately. Otherwise, he would not have said those words just now. Now, even if he wanted to change his words, it would not be easy. He couldn't just say that he had an escape talisman to participate in the artifact crafting competition. Now that he had an escape talisman, he did not want to participate in the artifact crafting competition. Senior apprentice brother, this escape talisman, as long as you can activate it in time, even an eternal level expert would not be able to catch you. Did you agree to participate in the artifact crafting competition with me? Sun Yan instantly forgot about the escape talisman and asked Ning Cheng with excitement. Ning Cheng sighed helplessly, yes, I plan to participate in the artifact crafting competition with you. Thank you, senior apprentice brother. Thank you so much. Sun Yan was so excited that she almost grabbed Ning Cheng's hand. Obviously, her feelings for the Bai Qi artifact crafting store were much deeper than Ning Cheng's. Ning Cheng asked junior apprentice Sister Yan to arrange Jian Jiao's accommodation while he returned upstairs. The first thing he did was to upgrade the twin wings of the heavenly clouds. This time, going to the immortal Jade Star, he would be carrying his head in his hands. He had to find a good way to escape. With the breaking boundary escape talisman, the twin wings of the heavenly clouds could once again upgrade to 5 pairs of multicolored lights. The sky treasure silk was a faintly discernible light-colored silk thread. As soon as Ning Cheng took out the sky treasure silk and the twin wings of the heavenly clouds, the twin wings of the heavenly clouds trembled slightly. From this, it could be seen that the twin wings of the heavenly clouds also knew that the sky treasure silk was a treasure for its upgrade. With the help of the celestial river flame, the sky treasure silk easily merged with the twin wings of the heavenly clouds. As such, Ning Cheng only needed to follow the steps of fusion. An hour later, Ning Cheng's twin wings of the heavenly clouds gained another pair of multicolored lights, bringing the twin wings of the heavenly clouds to 5 pairs of multicolored lights. Ning Cheng knew that when the twin wings of the heavenly clouds evolved to 6 pairs of multicolored lights, it would undergo a qualitative change. Although he did not know how to upgrade the twin wings of the heavenly clouds to 6 pairs of multicolored lights, he believed that he would be able to find the answer after reading the book given to him by Zhongli Baiqi. The Eternal Heaven Artifact Crafting Pool was very famous throughout the entire Grand Culmination Starry Skies. It was the most suitable place for crafting artifacts. Not only was it rich in fire-attributed energy, but it also contained its own flames. Ning Cheng followed Sun Yan to the outside of the Eternal Heaven Artifact Crafting Pool and saw Striking Order Heavenly Emperor also coming over. Striking Order Heavenly Emperor even seemed to be looking in his direction. Ning Cheng pretended to be indifferent and pretended to be relaxed as he chatted with Sun Yan. However, he felt very uneasy in his heart. At this moment, he even prepared for the worst. In case Striking Order Heavenly Emperor recognized him, what should he do? Chapter 597. Fortunately for Ning Cheng, Striking Order Heavenly Emperor only glanced at him before retracting his gaze. Apparently, he did not recognize him. Several cultivators with powerful celestial wheels walked into the Eternal Heaven Artifact Crafting Pool. Ning Cheng then whispered to Sun Yan beside him, Junior Apprentice Sister Yan, only 2 celestial scryer cultivators like us came to compete with others. How come there are so many powerhouses? Something doesn't seem right, does it? Sun Yan also felt that something was wrong and replied without much confidence, I'm not very clear about it. I only know that Master and that Jinming Qianhua have a deep hatred for each other. I thought that Master accepted you as a disciple to compete with Jinming Qianhua's disciple. I didn't expect Master to not come back even after Jinming Qianhua arrived. Huh, your courage is quite good, you really dared to come, congratulations. An abrupt voice came from behind Ning Cheng, laughing loudly. Ning Cheng turned around and saw a red-faced male cultivator with thick lips and a petite female cultivator walking over. The one who spoke was the male cultivator. Junior Apprentice Sister Yan's expression turned ugly and sent a sound transmission to Ning Cheng, these 2 are Jinming Qianhua's disciples. One is called Saiku Bing, and the other is called Xiang Sha. They were the ones who threatened me to admit defeat if I didn't dare to come to the competition. If I admit defeat, we would have to give up the Bai Qi artifact crafting store and kowtow to Jinming Qianhua in the name of our master. Then why did you agree to it? Do they dare to rob our artifact crafting store in Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City? Ning Qing frowned. Sun Yan sighed, senior apprentice brother, when master defeated Jinming Qianhua, he ridiculed Jinming Qianhua. He said that trash like Jinming Qianhua was nothing in his eyes. Moreover, he pointed at Jinming Qianhua's nose and said, "Go back and learn for a few hundred years. After 100 years, come back and challenge my disciple. My disciple will accept your challenge at any time." Jinming Qianhua did not say a word at that time. He just turned around and left a sentence, "After 100 years, I will definitely come back. If you or your disciple dare not accept the challenge, then get the hell out of Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City. Everything you have here belongs to me, Jinming Qianhua." Ning Qing cursed in a very bad mood. This fellow should be called Zhongli idiot, not Bai Qi. Regarding Ning Qing scolding her master as an idiot, Sun Yan did not feel that there was anything wrong with it, and helplessly spoke up, "So this time when Jinming Qianhua's disciple came to challenge me, I did not dare to not accept it. It was a small matter if he didn't accept the apology, but he still had to leave Bai Qi equipment forging store. Master clearly knows that 100 years have passed. He must have taken you in for this competition. Why hasn't he returned yet?" Sigh. Ning Qing asked in doubt, "This Jinming Qianhua really has no taste, to even challenge a disciple. Could it be that he really did it for the sake of venting his anger? Or that Bai Qi equipment refining store? Didn't you say that master won a very precious treasure back then? Now that master isn't here, even if his disciple won, you can't say that he's better than Master Bai Qi, right? What's more, he can't get that thing, can he?" Sun Yan shook her head. "I don't understand either. If we really can't do it, we'll just lose a little more elegantly. It doesn't matter if Bai Qi gives it to him." While the two were talking, they had already entered the Eternal Heaven crafting pool. After Ning Qing came in, he finally understood why this place was called the Eternal Heaven crafting pool. It really was a pool, with more than a dozen artifact crafting positions in the middle of the pool. Next to each position was a crystal-shaped ceiling array formation. Inside the crystal array formation, there were clusters of flames, all kinds of flames. "It looks like there are ready-made flames here. Should we use these flames to craft artifacts?" Ning Qing asked. At the same time, he thought that if everyone didn't use their own flames and used the flames here, he might be able to craft a high-grade Dao artifact. As long as he could craft a high-grade Dao artifact, even if he lost, it wouldn't be too ugly. The flames here are very difficult to control. You can never compare them to your own flames. During the artifact crafting competition, you can choose between the flames here and your own flames. Sun Yan explained immediately. More and more cultivators walked into the Eternal Heaven crafting pool. Above the Eternal Heaven crafting pool was a row of high seats, most likely where the judges sat. There were also many seats around the pool, most likely for the audience. Ning Qing was surprised to find that even Striking Order Heavenly Emperor could only sit in the audience seats. Moreover, as more and more cultivators came in, many of them were no worse than Striking Order Heavenly Emperor. There was also Su Dai, who followed behind a middle-aged man. From the celestial will behind this middle-aged man, one could see no trace of it, indicating that he was at least a powerhouse in the life and death realm. Ning Qing guessed that this middle-aged man should be Su Dai's father, the one who wanted to see him. At this time, a middle-aged Confucian scholar walked in, followed by many powerhouses. The celestial will aura coming from these powerhouses made people tremble. The cultivators who came to the Eternal Heaven crafting pool stood up, including Striking Order Heavenly Emperor. Sun Yan whispered in Ning Cheng's ear, "This is Heavenly Emperor Chuan Xinlo of the Leveled Heart Emperor Mountain, the premier powerhouse of my grand culmination Starry Skies." Behind him, There is an old man in red robes with a red face. That's Jinming Qianhua. The senior next to Jinming Qianhua is Sect Master Qiyun Bayan of Culmination Starland Celestial Weapon Spirit Sect. Although Cin Yan whispered in Ning Chang's ear that Jinming Qianhua was an old man, Jinming Qianhua still shot a cold glance at her. Cin Yan felt as if dozens of ice blades had pierced her body, causing her face to turn pale. She could no longer speak the rest of her words. Perhaps because Cin Yan called out Senior Qiyun Bayan raised his hand and waved, causing Jinming Qianhua's oppression to immediately disappear. Qiyun Bayan showed a smile. Brother Qianhua, you can't do the same thing as your name. Putting pressure on a celestial scryer junior is just too shallow. Jinming Qianhua laughed, how can I care about a junior? This time, Zhongli Baiqi did not dare to come out. Fortunately, he sent 2 disciples to compete with my disciple. Since that's the case, let's end this case today so that I don't have to worry about it. Brother Leveled Heart and Brother Bayan witnessed the competition 100 years ago. Today, my disciple will compete with Zhongli Baiqi's disciple, so I will have to trouble several elder brothers to witness it. After that, Jinming Qianhua cupped his fists towards the crowd. Many thanks to all the heavenly emperors and Tao friends for coming to witness the competition. Whether I, Jinming Qianhua, win or lose, I am willing to refine weapons for all the Tao friends for free. Brother Jinming, Zhongli Baiqi is not here today. Don't you think it's a bit unkind? A sharp voice spoke up. Jinming Qianhua sneered, that idiot Zhongli drove me out of the eternal heaven starry sky city, just like driving away a dog. He said that 100 years later, I could come here to challenge him, and now I'm here. Since he didn't dare to come out, I can only drive away his disciple like a dog. As for that idiot artifact crafting store, I will change it to Jinming Artifact Crafting Store in the future. He knew that idiot Zhongli Baiqi had been crafting artifacts in the eternal heaven starry sky city for 100 years, and many people spoke up for him. However, many of the cultivators here had come without an invitation. These fellows were not interested in the artifact crafting competition between the 2 disciples. What these people were interested in was the precious treasure that Zhongli Baiqi had won in the past. Even he and Zhongli Baiqi had fought over the treasure, so how could it be simple? However, if they wanted to know what this treasure was, they could only dream about it. I heard that you lost a very precious treasure to Zhongli Baiqi in the past. I came here today to take a look at this treasure. I think that everyone else would be the same as me. A cultivator sitting in the audience spoke up with a smile, not caring about Jinming Qianhua at all. That's right. The rest of the people immediately echoed the cultivator's words. For a wealthy cultivator like Jinming Qianhua to not forget about a treasure even after 100 years, it would have been strange if it was simple. Just as Jinming Qianhua guessed, only a few people came here to watch the artifact crafting competition, rather, they came here to see the treasure. Everyone knew that Jinming Qianhua definitely did not come here for revenge. If Jinming Qianhua truly wanted revenge, he would never have come to find Zhongli Baiqi's disciple. Not to mention these cultivators, even Ning Cheng wanted to know what kind of treasure Zhongli Baiqi had won in the past. Jinming Qianhua spoke up in a calm voice, that idiot Zhongli is not here. Even if my disciple wins, there is no way to show this treasure to everyone. To not waste everyone's time, let's start the competition now. Wait, I, Lu Wu, also want to participate in this competition. Of course, I will also let my disciple participate. A man with a pointy head walked in, and behind this pointy-headed man was a young man with a strong and stocky build. After the pointy-headed man finished speaking, he cupped his fists towards Chuan Xinlo and spoke, Lu Wu came here abruptly, I hope that Heavenly Emperor Leveled Heart can forgive me. Lu Wu, you are from the Grand Demon Domain Starry Skies, why did you come here to participate in a competition? What's more, we just want to settle a grudge. Jinming Qianhua's expression turned cold. The pointy-headed man knew that he had to tell the truth today, otherwise, he would have no chance at all. He cupped his fists towards the crowd and spoke, Dao friends, although I, Lu Wu, am from the demon domain. But now that the four grand starry skies have joined forces, my demon domain and grand culmination starry skies are also friends. My condition for participating in this competition is the same as Jinming's. If I win, I want Zhongli Baiqi's artifact crafting store. I don't want anything else. No one here was a fool. Therefore, when Lu Wu spoke those words, everyone immediately thought of Zhongli Baiqi's artifact crafting store. Otherwise, Lu Wu would not have come to this place to participate in this competition just for an artifact crafting store. However, to say that this artifact crafting store was the treasure from the past was a bit too outrageous. Those with low cultivation might not know about Lu Wu, but the cultivators in the heaven-seated realm and above did not know about Lu Wu. This person was the premier artifact crafting master of the Grand Demon Domain Starry Skies. One could even say that his artifact crafting status in the Grand Demon Domain Starry Skies was no worse than Zhongli Baiqi. Chuan Xinluo suddenly spoke up, Lu Wu, since you want Zhongli Baiqi's artifact crafting store, tell me the reason. As long as you can tell me the reason, I will agree to let you participate in this competition. Jinming Qianhua's expressions immediately changed. He knew that his artifact crafting skills far surpassed Chuan Xinluo's, but in terms of real cultivation, he and Chuan Xinluo were still far behind. Therefore, since Chuan Xinluo spoke up, he could only shut up. Lu Wu looked at Jinming Qianhua and said, because the treasure that Jinming Qianhua and Zhongli Baiqi used in the competition was Baiqi's artifact crafting store. Chapter 598. As soon as Lu Wu said this, everyone suddenly understood. No wonder Zhongli Baiqi was not in the eternal heaven starry sky city, and even Jinming Qianhua wanted to find his disciple to compete with him. It turned out that the root cause was that idiot's artifact crafting store. Naturally, no one would think that the Baiqi artifact crafting store was really that precious. There must be something in this shop that was very precious. Chuan Xinluo gave a cold snort towards Jinming Qianhua, and his tone turned cold, Lu Wu, you better speak clearly. What exactly does the Baiqi artifact crafting store have? If I win, I want the Baiqi artifact crafting store. Moreover, I only need 1 year. Lu Wu spoke to Chuan Xinluo without changing his expression. Sure, just say it. As long as you win, you can have the Baiqi artifact crafting store for a year. Chuan Xinluo stared at Lu Wu and spoke in a slow voice. Ning Qing couldn't help but give out a dark sigh in his heart. Having a high cultivation truly made one hell of a person. Chuan Xinluo didn't even ask Sun Yan or him, the two owners of Baiqi artifact crafting store, before directly giving out the promise of Baiqi artifact crafting store. Even if it was Zhongli Baiqi, he most likely did not even put him in his eyes. What was strength? This was what it meant to be strong. If senior apprentice brother Tsang Wei's cultivation had recovered and he was still here, he would have immediately slapped this heavenly emperor-leveled heart to see just how strong this heavenly emperor-leveled heart was. Unfortunately, Ning Qing could only fantasize about it in his heart. Because there's a treasure in the Baiqi artifact crafting store. This treasure must be refined before it can be taken away. Zhongli Baiqi, that waste, after obtaining this artifact crafting store, even after refining it for a full 100 years, he still could not refine this treasure. I promise that if I win, I'll only need a year. If I'm unable to refine it within a year, I'll hand over this Baiqi equipment forging store. Before Lu Wu could finish his words, Sect Master Qiyun Bayan of the God Tool sect anxiously asked, what treasure is it? The other cultivators also looked at Lu Wu anxiously. Zhongli Baiqi was a powerful artifact crafting grandmaster, yet he could not refine this treasure even after 100 years. From this, one could tell that this treasure was not a trivial matter. A fragment of the good fortune indestructible axe, Lu Wu's words immediately caused an uproar and made everyone unable to sit still. At this moment, the cultivators here could not wait to rush into Zhongli Baiqi's artifact crafting store. The news of the good fortune treasure's fragment appearing was simply too terrifying. Chuan Xinlo stood up and stared at Lu Wu, before speaking with a somewhat urgent tone, "Is what you said true?" "Of course it's true." "Did Heavenly Emperor of Leveled Heart want to go back on his words?" "If you want to go back on your word, Lu Wu, will leave immediately. I believe that Heavenly Emperor of Leveled Heart, as the premier powerhouse of the grand culmination Starry Skies, would not be so untrustworthy, right?" Lu Wu spoke with a flat tone. Leveled Heart Heavenly Emperor suddenly laughed. "Lu Wu, Chuan Xinlo, have never gone back on my words. You don't have to use such words to squeeze me." Even if Chuan Xinlo laughed out loud, without even the slightest fluctuation in his emotions, Ning Qing still had a feeling that Chuan Xinlo still felt excited. Not only did Chuan Xinlo feel excited, but all the people here also felt excited when they learned that the Bai Qi artifact crafting store contained a fragment of a good fortune weapon. Ning Qing was very calm. He had some doubts about Lu Wu's words. No one was more familiar with the toughness and strength of a good fortune treasure than him. He had escaped many times with the help of the mysterious yellow bead. If the mysterious yellow bead could easily shatter, then Ning Qing would have already died. The reason why he doubted Lu Wu's words was that the indestructible axe was a good fortune treasure, so how could it break? Secondly, he had the good fortune mysterious yellow bead, so why did he not sense any good fortune treasure in the Bai Qi artifact crafting store? However, if Lu Wu's words were true, then he could understand why Zhongli Bai Qi had spoken such harsh words in the past. Zhongli Bai Qi had asked Jinming Qianhua to get out of here for 100 years and forbade him from setting foot in the eternal heaven Starry Sky City. It was because Zhongli Bai Qi thought that he could refine the fragment of the good fortune indestructible axe within 100 years. Most likely, he did not expect that he would not be able to refine it after 100 years. Jinming Qianhua knew that Zhongli Bai Qi would not be able to refine the fragment of the good fortune indestructible axe within 100 years, which was why he agreed to Bai Qi's words and really got out of the eternal heaven Starry Sky City. If not, then Jinming Qianhua's understanding of the good fortune treasure fragment was even better than Zhongli Bai Qi's. Leveled Heart Heavenly Emperor, truly an upright person. Lu Wu really admires you. After Lu Wu heard those words, he immediately cupped his fists and spoke. If he entered the Bai Qi artifact crafting store, he would not have to worry about Chuan Xinlo plotting against him. Chuan Xinlo showed a faint smile and ignored Lu Wu. Instead, he spoke to Jinming Qianhua. Since Lu Wu won, he can occupy the Bai Qi artifact crafting store for a year. For the sake of fairness, you can also occupy it for a year if you win. Jinming Qianhua's expression turned ugly as he cupped his fists towards Chuan Xinlo, implying that he acquiesced, but did not speak. Facing Chuan Xinlo, he did not dare to refute even if he had the courage. Okay, then let your disciples start the artifact crafting competition. I will be the witness on the side to see who wins. After Chuan Xinlo finished, he then turned to the cultivators around him and spoke. What Lu Wu said is true. Zhongli Bai Qi has been refining for 100 years and still could not refine the fragment of the good fortune indestructible axe. Presumably, this fragment would be very difficult to refine. Since everyone has come here today, then after 2 years, we will enter separately and try it out. In the future, whoever refines it within a year will own this fragment. Hearing Chuan Xinlo's words, the expressions of the rest of the cultivators immediately turned for the better. That's right, even if you are Chuan Xinlo, you should not eat it alone. Ning Qing secretly thought that this Chuan Xinlo truly knew how to conduct himself. No matter what happened in the competition, he would always be the second person to enter the Bai Qi artifact crafting store. After being the first to refine it for a year, in terms of seniority, who could beat him, Chuan Xinlo? Qian Baiyan, who originally wanted to send a disciple to participate in the competition, immediately gave up the idea after hearing Chuan Xinlo's words. Sun Yan's face turned pale. She did not expect that the Bai Qi artifact crafting store would have such a treasure. If she had known about it, she would never have agreed to participate in the competition. Ning Qing stood there until now, but no one had noticed anything unusual about him, which made him feel relieved. At the same time, his courage also grew. After Chuan Xinluo finished speaking, he suddenly stepped forward and cupped his fists. Because of Heavenly Emperor, my eternal heaven starry sky city has always been the fairest place in the entire starry sky. Now that this disciple has some grievances, I ask Heavenly Emperor to uphold justice for me. Chuan Xinluo did not expect that Ning Cheng, a mere celestial scryer cultivator, would dare to speak in front of him. As a peak-level Heavenly Emperor, he did not care about Ning Cheng's offense and spoke up in a flat tone, "Speak." "Yes, many thanks, Heavenly Emperor." Ning Cheng replied. Then, he calmly cupped his fists and walked around before speaking to Chuan Xinluo again. "Seniors, respected Heavenly Emperor. Disciples from the three parties are participating in the competition. Baiqi Artifact Crafting Store belongs to my master, Zhongli Baiqi. My master wants to take out his artifact crafting store as the prize for the competition. But since it is a three-party competition, I can't let my master take out the prize alone, right? I would like to ask Grandmaster Jinming Qianhua and Master Lo Wu to also take out the prize. Moreover, no matter who wins or loses, we would lose a place to live. I ask Heavenly Emperor to take a look." Ning Qing knew that Zhongli Baiqi's store would definitely be taken out, so he might as well take advantage of the opportunity to gain some benefits. "Well said, I will give you an artifact crafting store when the time comes." Chuan Xinluo did not care about such a trivial matter. Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City's land was expensive, but it was not for Chuan Xinluo. Zhongli Baiqi's disciple sure is interesting. What do you want? Lo Wu squinted at Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng quickly spoke up, "Many thanks for the Grandmaster's inquiry, but I lack a flight-type weapon." Hearing that it was a flight-type weapon, Lo Wu immediately took out a Celestial River-class battleship and threw it to Ning Cheng. For a Celestial Scryer cultivator like Ning Cheng, a Celestial River-class battleship was already a great achievement. Not waiting for Lo Wu to take out the Celestial River-class battleship, Ning Cheng continued, "This junior has a few Celestial River-class battleships, but none of them are fast enough. Today, I had the opportunity to meet Senior, so this junior wants a Starry Sky grade flight-type battleship." Lo Wu thought to himself, this puny Celestial Scryer cultivator really knows how to boast. He even dares to say that a Celestial River-class battleship is not fast enough. Just a Celestial Scryer cultivator, if a Celestial River-class battleship is not good enough, then why would he want a battleship? However, since Ning Cheng took the initiative to speak, he had no choice but to throw out a storage ring. "This is a beginner-level Starry Sky battleship. You can have it." Seeing the other party only take out a beginner-level Starry battleship, Ning Cheng cursed him in his heart for being stingy and immediately put away the storage ring. After putting away the Starry Sky battleship, Ning Cheng arrived in front of Jinming Qianhua without any hesitation. Jinming Qianhua, who had just witnessed Ning Cheng's shamelessness, directly took out a card and spoke, "There are 2 billion purple coins here." Ning Cheng did not take the card at all and spoke up, "I have a lot of purple coins on me, but I want to buy some perpetual moon pills. However, I do not have the means to do so. I think that if I had 1,000,000 perpetual moon pills, maybe my cultivation could take another step forward." Although he spoke with his mouth, Ning Cheng felt contempt in his heart. 2 billion purple coins, how could this monkey's buttocks face take it out? Ning Cheng did not address these two fellows as senior. Instead, he addressed Lo Wu as Grandmaster. As for the monkey's buttocks face Jinming Qianhua, he did not even bother to address him as Grandmaster. Jinming Qianhua stared at Ning Cheng with cold eyes. "Did you dare to ask for more?" However, with so many eyes staring at him, he had no choice but to take out a storage ring and throw it to Ning Cheng. "There are 500,000 perpetual moon pills in here. I don't think a puny celestial scryer cultivator like you would be able to use it all up." "Many thanks." Ning Cheng knew that Jinming Qianhua felt very annoyed at this moment. However, he knew that he could not ask for more. With 500,000 perpetual moon pills, at least he could use the perpetual moon pills for cultivation, which would also be an open and aboveboard matter. Ning Cheng put away the things for himself, and no one said anything about it. Since it was a wager, then the winner must have it. However, the competition had not yet started, yet Ning Cheng had already put away the wager, which obviously did not conform to the rules. However, at this moment, everyone was focused on the fragment of the good fortune indestructible axe. Who would have the mind to care about other things? Even Lo Wu and Jinming Qianhua did not think about it. However, even if they remembered, Ning Cheng still had something to say about it. Let's start the competition. Seeing that the three parties had no objections, Chuan Xinluo immediately announced the start of the competition. At this moment, the competition was secondary. The most important thing was the fragment of the good fortune indestructible axe. From the moment Ning Cheng went up to ask for something, to the moment Chuan Xinluo announced the start of the competition, Xin Yan's suspended heart finally calmed down. She felt that Ning Cheng had taken too much of a risk. Chapter 599. Senior Apprentice Brother, why don't you separate out a trace of your spiritual sense, and I can integrate it into my water cloud flower. That way, you can fully use my flames. Hearing Heavenly Emperor Leveled Heart announce the start of the match, Xin Yan quickly spoke up. At this time, Jinming Qianhua and Lo Wu's disciples had already arrived at the edge of the Eternal Heaven artifact crafting pool. However, Ning Cheng stopped Xin Yan from bringing out the flame. Junior Apprentice Sister Yan, there's no need. He then once again cupped his fists towards Leveled Heart Heavenly Emperor and spoke, Heavenly Emperor, my junior apprentice sister uses a water-attributed flame. Moreover, her artifact crafting aptitude is also quite ordinary. Therefore, even if she participates in the competition, she will lose without a doubt. I've only been a disciple of Bai Qi Artifact Crafting Store for a short period of time, and my master hasn't even started teaching me yet. We admit defeat in this match. We just want a place to live. As long as no one drives me and junior apprentice sister out of the Eternal Heaven Starry Sky City, we would be lucky. Junior apprentice sister and I want to go back and move our things away. I hope that Heavenly Emperor Leveled Heart can send someone to supervise us. I know that with our cultivation, the Great Emperor will not be worried about us. However, I didn't know about the Bai Qi Equipment Forging Store before, but now that I know about it, I have to avoid arousing suspicion. Some of the more astute cultivators immediately understood the meaning of Ning Cheng's words, while secretly praising this cultivator's means in their hearts. Now that this matter was clear, and he knew that he would lose the match, he decided to remind Chuan Xinluo not to forget about the matter regarding the store. At the same time, it also reminded Chuan Xinluo not to let Jinming Qianhua find trouble with them. He was still playing the sympathy card. His words sounded pitiful, but there were really people who sympathized with him. How could Chuan Xinluo not understand Ning Cheng's meaning? He waved his hand and spoke, you don't have to worry about it. Since I said it, you can rest assured. No matter who won or lost, they could just compete. After the competition, someone will take you to the new shop. As for Ning Cheng's words about avoiding arousing suspicion, he only felt that it was funny. He was not the only one who found it funny, even the other cultivators found it funny. How could a celestial scryer cultivator avoid a good fortune fragment? Even if you touch the good fortune fragment, others will be able to see your aura. Not to mention the fact that you took the good fortune shard. In fact, even if Ning Cheng said that he took away the good fortune fragment, no one would believe it. Ning Cheng initially did not want to compete, but at this time, he had no choice but to borrow junior apprentice Sister Yan's water cloud flower and walk into the artifact crafting pool. He had already guessed a few things. Maybe Zhongli Baiqi's artifact crafting store really did contain a fragment of good fortune, however, it was absolutely impossible for it to exist now. Zhongli Baiqi either took away the good fortune fragment or found a way to hide it. As for Jinming Qianhua's belief that the things were in the store, it might have been a misdirection set up by Zhongli Baiqi. Disciple Saiku Bing greets the various seniors. Seniors, please give me some pointers. The first to walk into the artifact crafting pool was Jinming Qianhua's disciple, the red-faced cultivator with thick lips. Lu Wu's disciple, Shi Yuzi, disgraces himself. The second to step up was Lu Wu's disciple, a guy who looked extremely majestic. Ning Cheng, who was walking at the back, also cupped his fists and spoke, "My name is Cheng Yanxiong, and I represent the Bai Qi artifact crafting store." In the eyes of the others, Ning Cheng was just a bystander. Initially, he did not want to go on stage. However, Chuan Xinluo did not want people to gossip about him, so he forced him to go up. Moreover, no one expected him to win. Therefore, all eyes were on Saiku Bing and Shi Yuzi. Chuan Xinluo casually took out 15 kinds of artifact crafting materials and threw them into the artifact crafting pool before speaking, "To show fairness, I will provide the artifact crafting materials. Each of you can choose 1 to 5 of these artifact crafting materials. Whatever weapon you want to refine, you can decide for yourselves. As for the flame, whether you want to use your own or the artifact crafting pool's flame, you can decide for yourselves." No one raised any objections. This competition was secondary, and the most important thing was the outcome of the competition. Who could obtain Zhongli Baiqi's artifact crafting store first? Saiku Bing was the first to choose the materials, followed by Shi Yuzi. The quality of the materials would directly affect the quality of the weapon refined. After Saiku Bing and Shi Yuzi finished choosing the materials, Ning Cheng took out the last 5 materials. These materials were all Starry Sky Grade 5 and Grade 6 materials, which showed that Chuan Xinluo's mind was not on the competition. He just wanted to end this matter quickly and then go to Bai Qi Artifact Crafting Store to take a look. As the 3 people finished collecting the materials, the shielding restrictions at the edge of the Eternal Heaven Artifact Crafting Pool activated. At this moment, whether it was the cultivators outside or the cultivators inside the artifact crafting pool, none of them could use their spiritual consciousness to penetrate the restrictions. Saiku Bing brought out a slightly black flame with a touch of gold on the edge. Ning Cheng did not use his spiritual consciousness to explore this flame. He could feel that this flame was stronger than the water cloud flower in his hand. From Saiku Bing's actions, Ning Cheng could tell that Saiku Bing wanted to refine a high-grade Dao artifact. With the materials that Chuan Xinluo brought out, Saiku Bing wanted to refine a high-grade Dao artifact. From this, it showed that this person's artifact crafting level was higher than his own. Shi Yuzi brought out a lavender flame, which looked a bit weaker than Saiku Bing's flame. However, judging from his technique, he most likely wanted to refine a middle-grade Dao artifact. Ning Cheng felt a little puzzled. Lu Wu came here with such strong confidence. Did he think that his disciple could refine a middle-grade Dao artifact to win? Ning Cheng retracted his gaze and started to dissolve his materials. With his attainments in artifact crafting, he could refine a top-grade middle-grade Dao artifact with these materials. However, he did not do so. After knowing the secret of Bai Qi Artifact Crafting Store, he wanted to lose. The 3 people brought out their flames and started crafting artifacts. The powerhouses at the edge of the artifact crafting pool could see that Saiku Bing wanted to refine a high-grade Dao artifact, Shi Yuzi wanted to refine a middle-grade Dao artifact, and Cheng Yanxiong from Bai Qi Artifact Crafting Store wanted to refine a low-grade Dao artifact. If all 3 of them succeeded, the final winner would definitely be Saiku Bing. The first thing Ning Cheng wanted to melt was the only Starry Sky Grade 6 material he obtained. He had to use this Starry Sky Grade 6 material. If he didn't use it, others would definitely think that he did it on purpose. The moment the flame started to melt the material, Ning Cheng immediately felt something wrong. Thinking that this material came from Chuan Xinluo, Ning Cheng immediately sealed off most of his sea of consciousness. He could feel a trace of imprint on this material. Ning Cheng did not try to pry into this imprint. He felt sure that Chuan Xinluo had left this imprint behind. Chuan Xinluo left this imprint with the sole purpose of spying on the three people's artifact crafting process. Most likely, he wanted to play some tricks in the dark. The reason why Ning Qing sealed off most of his starry sky sea of consciousness was that he did not want others to know that his sea of consciousness was a starry sky sea of consciousness. Chuan Xinluo might be strong, but with just a trace of spiritual sense imprint, no one would be able to find out about his secret without any fanfare. Most likely, when Chuan Xinluo left behind this trace of spiritual sense imprint, he did not expect that a celestial scryer cultivator would notice his imprint. Ning Qing did not want to win, but now he felt even more reluctant to contribute. Because he had sealed off most of his sea of consciousness, he did not have to pretend to melt the material. When Saiku Bing and Shi Yuzi's materials finished melting, Ning Qing still continued to melt the materials. These two people apparently did not put Ning Qing in their eyes. They continued to carve array formations and condense the artifact shape. Saiku Bing was crafting a high-grade Dao artifact, the Li Xing blade. At this time, even the shape of the blade had appeared. If nothing unexpected happened, his high-grade Dao artifact should not have any problems. Shi Yuzi was crafting a glazed pagoda, a defensive artifact. Although this artifact was a middle-grade Dao artifact, it was much more difficult to craft compared to the Li Xing blade. At this time, the prototype of the pagoda had also appeared and was in the process of carving array formations. At this moment, Ning Qing felt a slight fluctuation in the space around him, and the blade in Saiku Bing's hand started to tremble. Ning Qing, who was also in the artifact crafting pool, understood that Shi Yuzi had secretly made a move against Saiku Bing. No wonder Lo Wu felt so confident that Shi Yuzi could use his spiritual consciousness to attack Saiku Bing. Saiku Bing gave a cold snort and glared at Shi Yuzi. At the same time, his domain fully stretched out, causing the pagoda in Shi Yuzi's hand to tremble. Ning Qing thought that these two fellows must have secretly made a move against each other. Maybe in the end, neither of them would succeed in crafting. Thinking that both of them might fail in crafting artifacts, wouldn't Ning Qing be the one to succeed? Thinking of this, Ning Qing felt shocked. Catcha! With a sound, the blade in Saiku Bing's hand completely collapsed, and the artifact crafting materials turned into a pile of waste. Shi Yuzi did not fare much better. Just as the materials in Saiku Bing's hand turned into a pile of waste, the pagoda in his hand also completely collapsed. With all the materials collapsing, what kind of weapon could they refine? Saiku Bing and Shi Yuzi glared at each other. Both felt angry at each other for interfering, causing the weapons in their hands to be destroyed. The cultivators outside the artifact crafting pool immediately went into an uproar. None of them expected that Saiku Bing and Shi Yuzi would end up in a stalemate. Everyone knew that the two of them had interfered with each other during the artifact crafting process. Ning Qing secretly found it funny, but then he felt that something was wrong. It was too much of a coincidence for both sides to end up in a stalemate. Since his materials contained Chuan Xinluo's spiritual consciousness imprint, then Saiku Bing and Shi Yuzi's materials obviously also contained it. Although he could detect Chuan Xinluo's spiritual consciousness imprint in his starry sky sea of consciousness, Saiku Bing and Shi Yuzi might not be able to detect it. Thinking of this, Ning Qing felt a chill down his spine. This artifact crafting process was completely under Chuan Xinluo's control. In other words, Chuan Xinluo had calculated that Saiku Bing and Shi Yuzi would interact with each other during the artifact crafting process. He then used this opportunity to cause the Dao artifacts crafted by Saiku Bing and Shi Yuzi to collapse. This action was done unconsciously, and no one could see it. Everyone thought that Saiku Bing and Shi Yuzi had interfered with each other and failed. Even the two parties involved might have thought the same. Only Ning Qing knew that it was definitely Chuan Xinluo's spiritual consciousness imprint that interfered with each other. If Chuan Xinluo had interfered, then Chuan Xinluo would have asked Saiku Bing and Shi Yuzi to leave the artifact crafting pool. That way, they wouldn't affect him, the contestant who was about to win. Sure enough, Ning Cheng had just thought of this when someone brought Saiku Bing and Shiyuzi out of the artifact crafting pool. The shielding restrictions around the artifact crafting pool then closed again. Ning Cheng gave out a dark sigh. No wonder he could become the premier person of Grand Culmination Starry Skies. This heavenly emperor leveled heart truly was insidious. This person had already calculated that he would win. If he won, he would definitely hand over the artifact crafting store to Heavenly Emperor leveled heart. Otherwise, would he not want his life? Chapter 600. Originally, Ning Cheng thought that although Chuan Xinlo also coveted the good fortune fragment, he was still a reasonable person. After all, everyone here agreed with his words and opinions. Moreover, he was not the first person to enter Bai Qi artifact crafting store. At this time, Ning Cheng finally understood the power of this heavenly emperor leveled heart. After learning about Chuan Xinlo's insidiousness, Ning Cheng focused his attention on the weapon in his hand. He was not worried about the weapon's crafting failure, but worried about Chuan Xinlo's spiritual sense imprint spying on his secrets. Ning Cheng originally planned to use only 2 materials to craft the weapon, so he decided to melt the rest of the materials. Who knew if these materials contained any traps? In case Chuan Xinlo gave him the extra materials, he would have to bear the consequences. Ning Cheng deliberately did not touch the spiritual sense imprint and pretended not to know anything. As long as this spiritual sense imprint did not find him, he would not take any measures. Moreover, he also knew that this spiritual sense imprint would not touch him casually, because Chuan Xinlo wanted him to win. What Ning Cheng had crafted was the most common type of defensive shield. The moment the shield took shape, Ning Cheng felt the trace of spiritual sense imprint that did not belong to the shield automatically dissipate. Sure enough, Ning Cheng also felt slightly relieved. Once this shield was finished, others would have to use their spiritual sense to check it. If it did not automatically collapse, then Chuan Xinlo's spiritual sense imprint would most likely be exposed. With the final crisp sound of the artifact's completion, the round shield in Ning Cheng's hand finally completed. It was a low-grade Dao artifact, but because Ning Cheng had been very careful, it could only be regarded as a low-grade Dao artifact. However, with the completion of this low-grade Dao artifact, everyone understood that Zhongli Baiqi's disciple had taken away the first place. Zhongli Baiqi really is something else. Even if he is not here, Baiqi's disciple can still take the first place again. Chuan Xinlo laughed and stood up. Lu Wu's expression turned a little ugly. He had thought that his disciple would win. There was no other reason than the spiritual sense attack. No matter how powerful Jinming Qianhua's disciple was, under the spiritual sense attack during the artifact crafting process, he would still lose. However, he did not expect that his disciple would also lose. It seems that Saiku Bing had done it secretly. Seeing Chuan Xinlo standing up to congratulate Ning Cheng, the other cultivators also stood up to congratulate Ning Cheng. In fact, these people were not even thinking about congratulating Ning Cheng, but rather wanted to go to the Bai Qi artifact crafting store to have a look. Ning Cheng had to thank them one by one. After these people finished congratulating him, Chuan Xinlo spoke up with a straight face, "Cheng Yanxiong, it hasn't been long since you became Zhongli Baiqi's disciple, yet you can already craft low-grade Dao artifacts. However, you won first place today not because of your strength. I also saw that your strength is much weaker than Saiku Bing and Shiyuzi. You're number 1 because of something else. I hope that you can continue to work hard and strive to become an artifact crafting grandmaster of my Grand Culmination Starry Skies. My Grand Culmination Starry Skies values all talents extremely. A few years ago, there was a Yu clan in the striking order Starry Skies, a talisman refining aristocratic family. Because the Yu clan's Tao of talismans was extraordinary, I specifically invited them to Culmination Starry Skies and let the Yu clan settle in the eternal heaven Starland. I hope you can do the same in the future." Chuan Xinlo's tone suddenly rose. "Everyone, since Zhongli Baiqi's disciple won this competition, then I have to keep my word. Zhongli Baiqi's artifact crafting store will continue to belong to this Qing Nianxiong. Ning Qing cursed in his heart. He wanted to eradicate the Yu clan, but he did not have enough strength right now. He did not want to learn from the Yu clan. Moreover, to let him continue to own the Baiqi artifact crafting store, could you, Chuan Xinlo, be any more hypocritical? The rest of the cultivators did not know about the spiritual sense imprint left behind by Chuan Xinlo, and some of them even secretly praised Chuan Xinlo for his magnanimity. Not only did he say that Ning Qing did not win because of his strength, but he also had to keep his promise to a celestial scryer ant. He did not change his previous statement just because Ning Qing won the competition despite his low strength. Ning Qing naturally would not be a fool to return to the Baiqi artifact crafting store. Did he not want his life anymore? Without waiting for the others to speak, Ning Qing took the initiative to step forward and cupped his fists. Many thanks for Heavenly Emperor's high hopes. This junior will work hard to improve my artifact crafting skills and spend more time on artifact crafting. It's just that this junior fears that I might not have enough strength to keep the Baiqi artifact crafting store. Now that Master Baiqi is not here, this junior and junior apprentice sister want to move out of the Baiqi artifact crafting store. We also want to ask senior leveled heart Heavenly Emperor to work hard for a bit. What? Do you still worry about your life? No one in my eternal heaven starry sky city would dare to snatch it. You can continue to live inside without worry. Chuan Xinlo spoke with some dissatisfaction. Ning Qing scolded him for being shameless in his heart before cupping his fists again and speaking, the seniors here are naturally upright and would not go to the Baiqi artifact crafting store to find trouble with this junior. It's just that if this matter spreads out, it would inevitably attract some powerhouses. Therefore, I want to move out for the sake of the seniors 1 year later. Chuan Xinlo pondered for a moment before nodding. In that case, Feng Fu, help these two juniors find an artifact crafting store and seal the original Baiqi artifact crafting store. Yes. A man in gray robes suddenly stood up from behind Chuan Xinlo. Ning Qing had not noticed this gray-robed man since Chuan Xinlo came in. This person felt like he was invisible. If Chuan Xinlo had not called this person out, he would not have remembered that he had seen this person before. 2 hours later, Ning Qing and Xin Yan arrived at the new store with Jian Jiao. Jian Jiao spoke up with a good feeling, "Martial uncle, this place is much wider than the original place. You and elder sister Yan must have been afraid that I might not be used to it, so you changed the place, right? If you didn't feel so good, maybe I would have changed to a bigger place. Don't talk too much about other things, just follow behind your senior apprentice sister Yan from now on. I'm going up to cultivate, don't bother me if there's nothing important." Ning Qing then turned to Xin Yan and said, "Junior apprentice sister Yan, if not necessary, let's not hang the name of the Baiqi artifact crafting store. I don't have time to craft artifacts in the near future." "Yes, senior apprentice brother." After the artifact crafting competition, and after Heavenly Emperor leveled heart sealed the Baiqi artifact crafting store, the professional smile on Xin Yan's face disappeared completely. Ning Qing took out a storage ring and handed it to Xin Yan. "There are some perpetual moon pills in here, which I got from selling the artifact crafting store. We can split it among the 3 of us. You don't have to push it, I still have some." The Baiqi artifact crafting store sold a starry sky battleship and 500,000 perpetual moon pills. Ning Qing took out 300,000 for Xin Yan, 100,000 for Jian Jiao's cultivation, and kept 100,000 for himself. As for the starry sky battleship, Ning Qing did not plan to take it out. After the Ning Qing trio settled in the new store, Zhongli Baiqi still had not returned. He guessed that this cheap master most likely took away the good fortune fragment of the indestructible axe and roasted him and Xin Yan in the volcano. Initially, Zhongli Baiqi had told him about the good fortune indestructible axe and said that the good fortune indestructible axe had fallen into this world. Perhaps Zhongli Baiqi dared to say such words because he obtained the fragment of the good fortune indestructible axe. After that nonsensical artifact crafting competition, Ning Cheng's matters suddenly decreased, and Zish Jun did not continue to look for him. Even junior apprentice Sister Yan and Jian Jiao chose to stay in secluded cultivation. Time passed by with Ning Cheng's cultivation and artifact crafting. When Ning Cheng received another message from Zish Jun, it was already 3 months later. 3 months later, Ning Cheng's cultivation reached the full circle of the Celestial Gatherer realm, and he could now refine Grade 2 Celestial pills. If given a little more time, and with more starry sky spiritual grasses, Ning Cheng felt that he could advance to the level of a Grade 3 Celestial Pill Master. Zish Jun's message stated that the people heading to the Immortal Jade Star had already gathered and that the Immortal Jade Star was about to open. Under such circumstances, Ning Cheng naturally would not continue to stay at home in seclusion. He had decided to stay here to head to the Immortal Jade Star. For him, the thing he wanted the most was the Starry Sky Wheel, not the Origin Bead. Although he did not have the harmonizing celestial pill, nor could he purchase such a medicinal pill, Ning Cheng believed that even if his cultivation could not advance to the Celestial Bridge realm, he could at least protect himself within the Immortal Jade Star. A huge void airship stopped in the middle of the culmination public square. At this time, Ning Cheng had already become an Imperial Array Master capable of arranging Grade 4 Celestial River Array formations. He could tell at a glance that this airship was not a technological product, but a real flight-type weapon. Moreover, the exterior of the airship was engraved with array formations. The entire public square was packed with cultivators, while Chuan Xinlo stood in the void above the airship with a calm expression. There were hundreds of experts standing around him. Even a powerhouse like Striking Order Heavenly Emperor only stood on the edge of this place. Ning Cheng felt sure that Chuan Xinlo had visited Baichi Artifact Crafting Store. As for whether he had found the fragment of the Good Fortune Indestructible Axe or not, Ning Cheng could not tell from his expression. Chuan Xinlo's gaze swept through the entire public square, and everyone felt as if Chuan Xinlo's gaze had specifically fallen on them. The appearance of the Immortal Jade Star is an opportunity for our starry sky. Only the cultivators with this jade card can enter the Immortal Jade Star. However, I will say one thing. That is, every cultivator who enters the Immortal Jade Star must report everything they obtain within the Immortal Jade Star. Of the things you obtain, you will get 50%. After Chuan Xinlo finished, he raised a jade card in his hand and spoke. This jade card has the spiritual consciousness tag of several eternal-level Starry Sky Emperors from my grand culmination Starry Sky. As long as you enter the Immortal Jade Star, this spiritual consciousness tag will record everything you obtain within the Immortal Jade Star. If anyone hides anything, even if it is a Grade 1 Starry Sky spiritual grass, they will face the consequences of confiscating everything and then being killed. The cultivators who desperately tried to obtain the jade cards felt stunned. Even the powerhouses in the Destiny realm from the major starry skies felt a little startled. No one thought that Chuan Xinlo would use this move before entering the Immortal Jade Star. Ning Cheng felt relieved in his heart. He was not afraid of asking for something, but he was afraid of not asking for anything. The experts who sealed off the Immortal Jade Star had noble thoughts and morals. Whoever obtained the Jade card would be able to obtain everything they obtained within the Immortal Jade Star. But now that Chuan Xinlo put it this way, it meant that the cultivators who entered the Immortal Jade Star could only obtain half of what they obtained within the Immortal Jade Star. If anyone wants to use a miniature world, a life world, or even a true Spirit Master's world to enter the Immortal Jade Star, then I advise you not to go in. Because the moment you teleport, your world will shatter. Even if it does not shatter, it will still be exposed. Chuan Xinlo's tone turned cold, and the cultivators who had been discussing immediately turned silent. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.